Yo, yo, yo. Did you not? Sir, sometimes this thing never works. And, 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 and. Unable to join. Story of my life. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let's see. And we're good. We're good.
I need to, yo, wait, you can hear me? Everything good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I need to get this shit together where every time I join, it's not turned facing the damn fish tank and the dresser.
Right?
God damn it, man. This shit's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I was about to show off my belly still book, man.
Let me see. You just got that or you already had
I
that?
had that. I bought it like last week. Look at that.
That shit better be Steelbook. That shit better be loaded with a bunch of special features on there.
It has the same special features as it did on the original DVD, which is unfortunate.
I don't know
Commentary, music videos, stuff like that, making of. That was all on the original DVD.
They should have had like cast and crew interviews on that shit.
I know. I kind of wish Hype Williams did something for that. Like, I wish he did like a new commentary for it.
You know what? That reminds me. I got Hype Williams and Little X confused the other day, yo.
What?
I don't know how I did it. I'm gonna tell you how. So I got them confused for a split second because there was this viral video of this girl who was claiming to be Aaliyah and R. Kelly's fucking love child, apparently. So she's on, yeah, bro. Listen, the video is hilarious, and the girl is just singing. She's singing "How Could the One I Gave My Heart To," but she sounds fucking awful. I hate to say it, but she does. So somebody was in the comments, and it said Director X, and he was basically saying it was bullshit. And I was like, Director X. I was like, oh, that's the guy that did Belly. I know he's pissed off because he was really close to Aaliyah, but then I'm like, wait, that was Hype Williams because Hype Williams directed Aaliyah's last video.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how I got those two confused.
Okay. I can see how you mix up Lil X and Hype Williams. Like I see that. I thought you were talking about Lil Nas X, bro. I was like, what?
Oh, hell, fuck no. Hell no. We don't. What he said in Black Panther, he said we don't do that here. Well, no, that wasn't Black Panther. That was Infinity War. Yeah, hell no. Listen, it's a small world.
Me a while. I was like, okay.
It's a small world, yo, because Lil Nas X did Old Town Road, right?
Yeah.
The guy who directed Old Town Road is the same guy who directed House Party, and he's directing the White Man Can't Jump remake. He's not off to a good start in his fucking career. He's not off to a good start, bro. He's not. Did you see House Party yet?
Who decided that Jack Harlow would be like a suitable Woody Harrelson? Like, who made that call?
I'll say this: as far as that teaser that they showed, Jack Harlow does seem like he's kind of going to be naturally like comedic. I'm not saying he's going to be hilarious, but it seems like he can be kind of naturally comedic. But if there's one thing that going to be good is going to be the basketball shit. Other than that, I really don't want this guy. Cal Maddock is his name. I don't want him to be that guy because next he'll be trying to remake Beat Street. He'll be trying to remake what's the movie you mentioned last episode? The Last Dragon. Electric Boogaloo, Breakin'. Yeah, he'll be trying to do Breakin'. He's going to think he's that guy to do all of these fucking, all of these cultural phenomenons. He's not that guy, man. He is not that guy.
I don't know. I've never seen Jack Harlow act in anything, so
Me neither.
I can't really. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Did you see House Party yet? Do you plan on at least getting bored enough to watch?
No, I haven't. I'm not paying for it, so I'm waiting for it to be free.
Don't.
Yeah,
please don't. I was not paying for that bullshit.
Yeah. And then Jeepers Creepers Reborn is actually free. I think next week. So I'm gonna watch that finally.
You still haven't seen it?
Yeah, I'm not paying $10 for that. Fuck out of here.
Are you gonna watch it though?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I need to see what everyone is saying. I'm gonna watch House Party as well because I need to see if you and Aaron are kind of off the mark here. But with everyone else, House Party is. I'm like, oh yeah,
House Party. Listen, in comparison, I know it's two different genres. House Party is a masterpiece compared to fucking Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, it's one of the worst fucking horror movies I have ever seen. I watched House of the Dead. A couple days ago. Yeah, from our favorite director, Uwe Boll. And House of the Dead is entertaining as shit compared to Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I kid you not. I can't wait for you to see what everybody else has seen with that movie, yo. It's bad. They didn't even try.
The plastic walls as they're running down the mansion. What the fuck is this? Like, you're not even trying at this point.
They didn't even. I'm talking like the effects. There's like 2 cool kills in there that got me to laugh. But other than that, it's terrible. It's terrible. And somebody said it's fucked up. But somebody was like, Victor Salva's a piece of shit, but he can sleep peacefully knowing that as much of a piece of shit he is, he made the better 2 films. And I'm like, I don't like to touch that subject, but if you look back on it, like it's fucked up to admit. It really is, because the last one, I don't know what they were going for with this last one. It's terrible. It's awful.
I have no idea, but I am gonna watch it next week. So there it is.
I can't wait.
It's free. Man. I think it's hitting Prime next week, so I'm definitely gonna hit play.
I hope you make it through it, because I almost turned the shit off. I'm not even gonna hold you. I almost said, "Fuck it, I don't even care if I finish it or not." It's that bad. That bad.
Oh shit! Yeah. So. We'll touch on that. I think in the week after, maybe toward the end of February, we'll definitely talk about that for sure. But yeah, man.
Review for it.
You got any heaters that you've seen lately?
I mean, I did see. You saw I put the videos up. I watched There's Something Wrong with the Children. I watched. What the hell was that one I just watched? Sick. I watched Sick. That was pretty good. What else? It was something new. I feel like I just watched. I just wrote it down. What was it? Oh no, I already talked about the menu. I don't know. It's Sick and There's Something Wrong with the Children are pretty much the 2 things that I watched recently that were new, and they both are decent, man. Like I'm really about to start watching horror movies that don't get like big acclaim and big promotion. Those are the ones that like go so under the radar. Like Sick was pretty fucking decent. It was actually solid. Kevin Williamson reminded everybody like, yo, I do this slasher business, man. I got it. And the guy, I didn't know that the director is the son of Peter Hyams, the guy that did like The Relic. And I didn't know until I watched
your favorite movie. What? Did he do Exorcist 3? No, that was William Peter Blatty.
Oh yeah. No. I was about to say
he did one of those Exorcist movies though. I'm pretty sure he did.
Was it the TV show? He might have did part 2.
I think it might have been part 2.
Look it up. I hope not, because that is a shit stain on his fucking resume. Part 2 is it's bad.
Oh no,
that is
he did The Relic. That's what it was.
yeah.
He did
Which
Time
is
Cop.
an underrated. The Relic's an underrated. I feel like that movie doesn't really get the credit it deserves, man. It is a slow burn, and you don't really see the monster a lot, but it's pretty fucking decent. It came out around the time with like Deep Rising and Anaconda and those movies that were giving us the CG practical monster shit, Lake Placid, stuff like that. Plus, it was a Stan Winston monster. All like rest in peace, shout out to Stan Winston.
Also, he did the vastly underrated End of Days.
Did he?
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch that. I always had this weird appreciation for End of Days because I like that. It's basically Arnold's horror movie.
Yeah.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's horror movie. Yo, I really can appreciate that, man. You had what's his name that was in there?
Gabriel Byrne. Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne. What's the guy's name who was Arnold's best friend in there?
Oh, Kevin Pollak.
Kevin Pollak. That he was in there, and Robin Tunney from The Craft is in there. That movie was pretty solid, yo. From what I remember, I got to go back and watch it, but it was all right. That movie was definitely not bad at all.
End of Days, and he also did Time Cop.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, he did. Time Cop.
Man, fucking Time Cop. I haven't listened. Jean-Claude. I feel like I didn't appreciate his movies back in the day. I remember watching, like, a couple months ago, I went back and watched Cyborg, and I was like, this was early on in his career, but I got to go back and try to appreciate him the same way I appreciated, like, Sylvester Stallone and all the action guys from back in the day, because Jean-Claude, he whooped way more ass than a lot of our action stars that we like, put up there.
Let's see. What else did he do? He also did Sudden Death, which is the hockey one with Jean-Claude Van Damme, where he plays the security guard at the Pittsburgh Islander game.
What's it called?
With Powers Booth, when he wants to blow up the hockey arena.
Oh, Powers! Rest in peace. Shout out to Powers Booth. Didn't he pass away like a couple years ago?
Yeah, passed away a couple years ago.
We losing.
And then he did and then he did Running Scared with Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal.
Ooh, I thought you was talking about the movie with Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
That's
Running
a fire
Scared?
fucking movie, though. That's a fire movie. That's a fire.
We gotta make that a discussion, like at least, or put it in like a category of like a list that we come up with for like underrated, I don't know, action thrillers. What genre would we place that under? Is it like crime thriller or something like that?
It'd be a crime thriller.
Yo, Running Scared is that work. That movie is just unapologetic in every fucking way. I feel like you're about to pull the DVD out. I feel like that's what you're looking for right now. I knew it. I knew you were fishing for that DVD, man. I got it somewhere up there. With
Wayne
the
Kramer I think it's
that movie,
his first and only feature debut movie.
That movie is so good, man. And what's the name is so fine in that movie. What's the name? Vera Farmiga? Whew.
Yeah.
God damn.
Mrs. Warren?
That movie's brutal, man. Like that hockey rink scene. Oh, that
God
shit.
Damn.
It just did not let up.
And you see that dent just go right into his forehead. Like,
that shit did not let up, man. And then at the end, like when you think it's over, then the fucking pimp shows back up. The pimp, I always thought that was Malcolm McDowell. I'm not gonna lie, he looks just like Malcolm McDowell. He looks like Malcolm McDowell in that movie Milk Money. You remember Milk Money with Melanie Griffith? That's who he looks like in that movie, yo. He looks just like him, only with like a visible mustache. Damn, it's because that pimp in Running Scared, you gotta like squint and look at him like, does he have facial hair or does he not? But it's kind of like blonde or something. That motherfucker looks like Malcolm McDowell. Blonde thing going for him in the white pinstripe suit. What was his name? He talking about high pitched voice. Yeah, I hated that dude. He said, "I'm a Mac Daddy pimp." He said, "I'm gonna put this little bitch on the streets." He said, "I fronted you for these fucking airbags, and you give me night school." I hated that motherfucker, man. I'm not gonna lie, I hated Oleg in that movie too. I wanted to strangle that fucking kid. Cameron Bright or Cameron Albright, whatever his name is. I hate that kid. I hate him. I do.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he wasn't annoying. He just did stupid shit, man. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
Oleg was just fuck. God damn, I hate that kid, man. It's so much like I hate him so much in that movie that I remember watching. Somebody was telling me to watch Twilight Breaking Dawn or whatever it was, whatever the last two movies were, and he's in there, and I'm like, I hope he dies in this movie. But of course, Twilight did some stupid shit, and listen, this is one of the reasons I can't fuck with Twilight, because when I finally got into it, that last movie, the whole battle sequence was a premonition. And I'm like, that was such a shitty cop-out, man. I hated that they did that. The one time I get invested in
that shit.
Yeah,
I hate when movies do that.
One time I get invested in Twilight. That's one of the reasons we don't give
He also did the last two Universal Soldier movies.
What was it? Regeneration or
Day of Reckoning and Regeneration.
Yeah, something like that. I couldn't keep up after a while. I think I saw the first two Universal Soldiers or something like that, but then they started making a lot of them, man. It's kind of like what they started doing with the Highlander movie.
They had such a good I think it was the third one where they had Michael Jai White in it.
Yeah, one of those he was in there.
It was the third one.
I think it was the third one.
You fucking just waste that fight scene. You waste it. Like, let them go. Just let them go. They're both black belts. You know what I mean? They both want to fight each other. Let them go. It was kind of stupid, man.
They'll remake it in no time. Don't worry. They'll remake it and they'll put they'll put somebody in there they'll fucking waste.
Right? They'll waste Tony Jaa. That's what they'll do.
That's what they do with Tony Jaa, and every American film he's in, he's completely wasted. I'm a Fast and Furious fanatic, but there was no reason for Tony Jaa to be in. Like, he had a good fight scene with Paul Walker, but there was no reason for him to be in Fast 7. He had two sequences. That was it. There was no reason for him to be in Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage. They completely wasted him in that movie. He does like a backflip on or off a motorcycle, and then that's it. Like, it's just fucking waste. They wasted him.
Jesus, man.
They do the same shit with Donnie Yen in American movies too, and I hate that shit, man.
I hope they don't do that in John Wick, man. I will fucking throw a fit, man.
Listen, I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm gonna tell you why, because you saw John Wick 3, right?
Yeah.
You had Mark Dacascos from Only the Strong, from The Crow, Stairway to Heaven, from I don't know if you saw like the B movie version of I Am Legend. It's called I Am Omega. Yeah. It's straight up B movie, but you had Mark Dacascos, one of the most underrated martial artists of all time, and he had the fight scene was just okay with him. They wasted him in the movie. But
because he's a little bit older now. He's a little bit older, and the main fight scene was with Mad Dog and the other guy. That was really the main fight scene that they were highlighting, which is unfortunate because Mark Dacascos, I do think he deserves better for sure.
And then they got listen, I'm looking at the John Wick 4 cast. They got Donnie Yen. They got Bill Skarsgård. They got I always fuck this dude's name up. Hiroyuki Sanada, Scorpion, from the Mortal Kombat. Come on, man. You can't. They got Scott Adkins.
Scott Adkins is in this? Get the fuck out of here!
God, no bullshit. He's playing a character named Killer with an A. Killer. Clancy Brown is in this shit, bro. Oh yeah,
he plays the referee.
Oh yeah, John. Oh yeah, Part 4. Oh yeah, I'm there.
Part 4 is gonna be fucking fire, dude. That's gonna be a fucking amazing movie. I can't wait.
Those movies are so crazy. Those movies. Aaron Bill can't fucking fight. I don't know. Maybe they trained Bill Skarsgård. I don't know. I feel like he better know how to fight because he's playing Eric Draven in the Crow reboot, and the Crow he's got to throw down in this. We didn't really get to see a Crow movie where he really fights choreographed fight scenes. So I'm hoping that they had him do some type of fucking training for this. Damn, my man came right at Bill's neck. Said that man
for real, straight for the jugular. Fuck, Aaron, tell us how you really feel about Bill. Holy shit!
See now I'm looking at his IMDb page. Like, has he been in a movie that requires him to fight?
No, no, I don't think so.
I mean, he could. The one chance he had was in Deadpool 2. I forgot he played Zeitgeist, but they didn't give him shit to do.
No, I think he was just there.
He was in the Eternals? Said he played a character named Crow.
Never seen the Eternals.
You never seen it? It was,
I
think I remember giving it like a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10. The Eternals was cool, but
how you gonna tell me that you've seen this movie, but you don't remember Bill Skarsgård was in the movie? Was he left on the cutting room floor or something? Like, what the fuck?
Listen, the movie's cool, but the Eternals didn't have a sequence where it's like, if we're talking about it and we both saw it, it didn't have a part where it was like, yo, you remember that one part that happened in there? Like, every good Marvel movie or just movie in general has that one moment. I don't think the Eternals has any of that. It's not bad, but I think I had, like, unrealistic expectations because I was so spoiled with the Avengers movies. I'm expecting that type of camaraderie with the characters. I didn't get that. These are brand new characters. And then it's like, where the fuck were y'all when Thanos was whooping everybody's ass? But they do explain that. They said, listen, we can't get involved in human affairs and those types of wars and shit. So they had to sit back and eat some popcorn and shit and just watch half the population get wiped out. They explain it, yo. They really do. But it's okay, man. It's just a lot. I like it because it's diverse. Like there's a Chinese director, there's Chinese characters, there's black characters, there's white characters, there's the chick from The Walking Dead. She's like the deaf one. I didn't know she was deaf in real life. I forgot the actress's name, but there's a gender swapped character that pissed everybody off. It's a lot going on, man. It wasn't bad. It's just not too memorable. I feel like a sequel would do it justice. They definitely need a part 2. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't nothing.
I don't know if that sequel's gonna. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know. Actually, no. That might not be true because I think Chloe Zhao actually said something about Eternals 2 in the works. So
yeah,
we'll see.
But the cast members are like she said something about Eternals 2, but the cast members are like kind of on the we're still waiting for the call type of thing. So that's never really a good sign. Like when motherfuckers ain't in the loop about their own sequel.
All you fuckers just got recasted about white people.
Listen, I'm telling you, if they did that, I want to see the response for it. Because there's going to be a lot of people to complain, but it's like everybody hated the first one to begin with. Like if they casted all new Eternals, I'm telling you, that shit I would love to see the uproar though. I want to see that.
The Angelina Jolie thing was ruined for me. So that was another reason why I just didn't bother to see it, because I felt like, really? That's what you did with her? That's what you did with her character? You made her related? Like, really? Get the fuck out of here.
She was fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in that movie, man. She was off her rocker the whole fucking thing. Like, 1 second she was cool, then the next second she's fighting everybody, then 1 second she's back to normal, then the next second she's evil, and it's like, I was over that whole
man, she sounds like Maleficent. That's exactly what Maleficent does. So she's basically playing Maleficent. That's what she's doing.
Great. 2 point. It was a dude that had the same powers as Superman, and he looks like Sebastian Shaw. He was such a corny ass fucking character, man. That's the thing. Like, you did have my man from Train to Busan in there, the guy who strapped the phone books to his arms, and he was like the big husky dude, the one with the pregnant wife.
Oh, no shit! Really, he was in there?
He's in there. He's pretty good in there though. He's got a little bit of comic relief in there and all of that type of shit. But the movie overall, it's pretty basic, like for introduction for the Eternals. I thought it was going to be something like all majestic. I do think Chloe Zhao should direct Eternal Champions. Like if she's going to do like a video game adaptation, do Eternal Champions. She can handle that. I don't know about that Marvel shit. I don't know.
Because Marvel all have to fall under the same template, though. That's the problem with that. You know what I mean?
Oh, did you see the Scream Super Bowl trailer today? They dropped it today.
No, I was are going to wait to the Super Bowl to watch it? Why are you releasing Super Bowl trailers like 4 days before the fucking game? The whole entire point of doing those Super Bowl trailers, I don't know if you remember this, but I'm going to date myself. I remember back in the 90s and early 2000s, we all sat at the fucking living room during Super Bowl Sunday just to watch trailers and commercials. Now you're releasing them like a month before or 2 weeks before the game?
Listen,
fuck out of here.
I said it in one of my episodes. I said I'm rooting for the city to win. I want Philly to win. But the reason I'm here is pretty fucking obvious. I'm here for the trailers. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm excited for, man. Like, I think we're supposed to be getting trailers. I cannot wait. I know everybody hates Ezra Miller right now. I can't wait to see Flash trailer. I'm going to
be honest. Me too. So
listen, he didn't rape nobody. He didn't kill nobody. There's people out here that have done way worse. He just fucked up in the head. And they're talking about keeping him. And everybody's like, oh, they recasted Henry Cavill and they're recasting Aquaman and all, but they get to keep Ezra Miller. And I said this was going to happen. They are going to use this as a stepping stone to let people know. And I said this before they even announced it and made a statement. I was like, they're going to use this as a stepping stone to let people know. Just because this person has mental health issues, we are not going to turn our backs on him like everybody else. We're going to work with him and keep him employed at Warner Brothers in D.C. And I feel like the way that they're praising this movie, if it's good enough, he's going to be around for a while, and people are going to be pissed.
Yeah, the only problem is that he needs, like, pardon the phrase, but he needs to be on his meds. Like, this dude, they need to keep him even keeled, man, because, I mean, imagine what this dude would do if he was unemployed. Like, that situation just even scarier. You know what I mean? Like, what if he was unemployed and just completely went off his rocker? And we're talking about Ezra Miller for those of you that are just joining. I don't know, man. I think I'm curious to see the Flash. I want to see the Flash. They say it's a retcon for DC, so we'll see.
Yeah, they said it's supposed to reset the whole universe. So mistaken, I don't agree with it, but I hope DC does get their shit together. Yeah, I agree. I'm a DC fan. I'm DC over Marvel, but I can never hate on Marvel because their blueprint is just airtight. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. I want DC to win, but they like you said, they have to get their shit together. They just can't seem to figure it out. I think James Gunn is going to. I'm hoping James Gunn knows what he's doing, man.
I believe so. You got to remember, James Gunn grew up on comics. You know what I mean? So he's gonna make sure that he honors the legacy and the films and the characters in the right way. I mean, look at the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. Like he took those characters and made them better. DC over Marvel, yes. Yeah. I like the Snyderverse movies. I like the Snyderverse movies. Like, you know, don't hate. Like I think the Snyderverse movies were good,
and
because they were.
And James Gunn, the fact that James Gunn is doing. Listen, I was hyped that they released the slate, and the slate's cute and all of that type of shit. I'm happy that Batman and all that, whatever. But when these motherfuckers announced Swamp Thing,
I saw that. I thought you were like, yeah. I was like, what?
Oh my god, man! Because I watch the Return of Swamp Thing probably like once every 2 months. I grew up on that shit. That is my shit, and I just started getting back into that 2019 Swamp Thing series that they canceled. That was the dumbest fucking move that DC has ever made as far as TV shows go, because that shit had all the vibes, straight up horror movie vibes, all day, all night, and I don't know. Like, you had Will Patton, Derek fucking Mears playing Swamp Thing. The casting of oh my god, Alec Holland was actually pretty decent. You spend so much time with that character, they don't just pop up and make him Swamp Thing. Like, they give him shit to do, and they give him and Abby like this interaction. You had I forgot who else was in that damn TV show, man. You had Kevin
Adrian
Durant.
Barbeau. Adrian Barbeau was in that as well. What?
She was in the TV show?
Yeah. Wait.
No, stop it.
I
Stop
don't
it right now.
It's just one TV show, unless Google's fucking up.
No, she was in the original movie, the Wes Craven movie.
Virginia Madsen. Crystal.
There you go. That's who I was thinking of. Virginia Madsen. Like, come on, man. You got Helen Lau, like from Candyman.
Jennifer Beals was in this movie?
She was? Wait, the movie or the show?
Movie? Huh?
The show or the movie?
The show.
Hold up.
She plays. She's credited as Lucille Cable, tough as nails and pragmatic sheriff of Merrill's, with a strong devotion to her son Matt.
Oh, she is in this. And I forgot she was in fucking Book of Eli.
Yeah, no. Adrian Barbeau is in this series. She's a guest. She plays
Michael
Dr.
B.
Palomar, the assistant to the CDC. So she's only in one episode.
I know that cameo was probably crazy. You got the boy from ain't Ian Ziering? Ain't that the motherfucker from Beverly Hills 90210 or some shit?
Yeah, that's also the dude from Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks cartoon.
Is it really?
Yeah. You ever seen a Mighty Ducks cartoon? No.
My head almost exploded because looking at his face, I remember he's also the guy who was in all those fucking Sharknado movies. My God. You could tell his career. He was calling people up like, yo, you got anything for me? Then he finally got that phone call at the end of the night where somebody's like, yo, we got Sharknado 12. You can be in that one. He's like, I'll take it. Fuck it.
With Tara Reid, and you get to do a bump off her chest.
We're never going to get Tara Reid on the show now that you said that shit. We can just forget about getting Tara Reid on the show. And I want to interview Tara Reid too, because I want to know how she landed the role in Urban Legend. Now we can just cross that shit off the list. He said you could do a bump off her chest. This is Johnny Zuko, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Zuko.
Aaron says the 90s Swamp Thing cartoon was fire when I was a kid, and then he says the Mighty Duck cartoon was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. The Mighty Ducks cartoon was awesome. I have vague memories of the Swamp Thing cartoon, but I do remember that intro. I remember that intro used to play up on Saturday morning on USA, but I never really sat and watched it all the way through.
Yeah, I don't think I did either. I remember the live action show, the first one, and I wasn't really too much into that. Like, I was just so stuck on the one with Heather Locklear, the Return of Swamp Thing movie. That's the one I was. Heather Locklear was in it. Sarah Douglas.
Used to watch on USA Up All Night.
All the time that shit used to come on. All the time.
How was their go-to movie when they didn't have any other movies to show? Let's just show Return to Swamp Thing.
Movie, yo. That movie, it's a monster movie. Like, the practical effects don't always hold up in that movie, but I appreciate the shit out of a guy in a rubber monster suit.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that scene where they're in the laboratory and he's showing like Louis Jordan and Sarah Douglas, that dude that's the scientist with the inhaler, he's showing them all the hybrids that are in there. It's a guy that's part elephant. There's a guy that's part cockroach. There's a big ass piranha that's in the fish tank and shit. Like I love stuff like that, man. It's such a dope ass monster movie. I can't remember that what that director did, but his name is Jim Wynorski. Like, I just feel like Wynorski is just an interesting ass name to have. I might take that up as an alias or some shit. Oh, he did Chopping Mall. The guy that did Return of Swamp Thing, he did Chopping Mall.
Not a single body was chopped, but every single body was sliced with lasers. Should have just called it Laser Mall.
Oh, he also directed Piranhaconda.
Piranhaconda.
Oh, God, yeah, this dude was, oh, my God, he was on a roll. He did Piranhaconda, Camel Spiders, Dino Croc versus Super Gator.
These are all sci-fi movies, right?
Absolutely. You already know. Asylum sci-fi movies with some of the worst. Komodo versus Cobra. The Curse of Komodo. thing below. He loves his monsters, man. Invasion of the Hottie Snatchers.
So, what is that? Is that just like a bunch of people going to Hobby Lobby or something? What the fuck is that?
There's no fucking plot synopsis on here.
Of course.
I feel like it's a horror movie with nothing but porn stars in the cast. The Bear Wrench Project, Part 2.
That's definitely, yeah, that's an adult movie. That was on Cinemax. That was on Cinemax.
Yo, this dude, his this fucking resume is impressive, man. Oh, he did Ghoulies 4. I mean, oh my God, that's what it was he did. Oh, fuck, he did 976 Evil 2.
Ugh.
Oh, God. Whew, yeah, that's enough. That's enough, Jim. I don't want to know shit else he's done. 976 Evil 2.
It.
The first one skates by, but that second one, man, I remember seeing that shit as a kid, and even back then, I'm like, this movie's fucking terrible. Oh, whew. That just changed my whole mood, man.
Yeah.
And then they brought Spike back in the movie from the first one, and he couldn't even save that shit.
Spike, Stephen Jeffries? You led?
What's his name? Was it Austin? Oh, I almost called him Austin O'Brien. That's the motherfucker from Last Action Hero. What's his name? Let me check and see real quick. The one who plays Spike, not Hoax, but Spike. Patrick O'Brien is his name.
Oh,
yeah, they brought Patrick O'Brien. They brought back as Spike. And he was like supernatural or some bullshit like that.
Jesus.
The Astro Factor.
Scroll down memory lane, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, that movie's awful, man. That's one of the worst fucking rentals as a child ever.
Yeah.
All bad.
Worse than anything Full Moon ever done?
Listen, I can enjoy Full Moon. Like, I used to like, up until part 5, I used to like the Puppet Master movies. I had like a kind of a liking to the subspecies movies. I did like, was Trancers Full Moon? Trancers. I used to try to get into that. Doll Man, Demonic Toys, like shit like that is entertaining compared to fucking 976 Evil 2. That's just that movie sucks, man. That's bad. That's all bad.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's see. Have you seen anything else? That was it, right? Like,
yeah,
you didn't see Knock at the Cabin or anything?
I want to, but I'll wait, man. Like, I saw the trailer, and I'm like, what the fuck is this even about, man? I don't have time for the fucking M. Night Shyamalan twist and peeling back all the layers and shit.
There's no layers, there's no twists. Straightforward.
Yeah?
Yeah. Did you like The Visit?
That's rare.
Did you like The Visit?
I gotta go back and watch it. That's the one with the grandparents,
Split?
right?
Did you like Split?
I love Split. Split is
You're
probably
gonna
one
like
of the
this movie. You'll like this movie. You'll definitely like this movie.
But the whole premise is like, didn't we do this in Cabin in the Woods? Like
it's not Cabin in the Woods.
Everybody has to die in order for the world to be saved and shit. Aaron said it. He said it's garbage.
Yeah. He completely shat on it on this week's episode on the Cinemspace Podcast. He shat on it. The other two co-hosts really enjoyed it, but he's the only one that. Aaron, if you can, please explain why you think it's garbage. If not, no spoilers, please, because Romero has not seen it.
I have not. I have not seen it. I mean, I'm going to, like, watching the trailer, I want to see it, because I think it's interesting that fucking Drax and Ronald Weasley are two people knocking at the cabin. If anything comes out of it, I want the little girl to survive. I don't know if they even take it that far and have the little girl in a lot of danger. I don't know, but I'll see.
Aaron wants to join in.
Come on with it.
Should be.
Damn, as soon as I typed in K, Knock at the Cabin came up on IMDb. Wait, is this the same dude from...
Hey, guys.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, while I'm washing dishes, I'll explain my crappy reasoning behind it. Since Paul kept saying if we watched the same movie, and he was trying to tell me that I was making out while watching that movie and stuff. But no, I am a big fan of M. Night Shyamalan when he makes good movies, and for me, Eric's and Andrew's relationship is just not really that believable. I feel that there's no chemistry between them at all. I even said on the show that Frank and Bill from The Last of Us did it better, and it's also a better love story than Twilight. You know, so that's the one thing I feel, and I guess like my knowledge of said theme that's in the film, I guess this was causing me not to really like the film. There's something that happens in the film, and as soon as it happened, I rolled my eyes pretty hard because I feel that's part of the twist. And once they really, I feel that the twist is very underwhelming. And and I feel that if you really, really wanted to shock the audience, I think the ending, instead of the person that was going to emerging, I think the other person should have emerged instead. But I know a lot of people would have probably not liked that one because it doesn't fit. Because it's the movie's mostly through Andrew's perspective, and you don't get very much of Eric's perspective through the film. He's kind of sidelined almost immediately. You know, so I'm trying not to give too much away, but I will say, like, there is a lot of great ideas in this film. It's pretty good through majority of the film. Hell, I even know that with the cinematography, it's actually really nice. Like, I highly suggest if you're into filmmaking and you want to learn how to light scenes, like, try to find the behind the scenes for this movie, dude, because you can learn a lot, especially when you're working with one location. And, you know, and that's really good. You know, they used lenses from the 90s to film this. And you can tell, though, you know. But the thing is that they also use anamorphic lenses, but I'm not quite sure if those anamorphic lenses are from the 90s or a different set of lenses. But it looks beautiful, man. It's great. It has really good ideas, but it just the twist is very underwhelming for me, and I think there's more commentary that they want to tackle with same-sex couples, and they just didn't really go far enough with them, I think. And especially with Rupert's character, because there's a lot to say there. There really, really is a lot to say there, you know. But they just didn't go far enough, because I just don't think they just know how to write for same-sex couples, and that's, you know, it's just mostly with the writing, especially with just Andrew and Eric. I just feel like it's just not believable for me, and then what, like, the thing that leads to the twist later. It rolled my eyes, because then it becomes like a little bit more predetermined rather than choice.
Is it the worst twist in like this? The thing about M. Night Shyamalan's twists in his movies, they're either really good or they're really fucking bad. Like, is this one of the, like, would you put it at the bottom of his twists as far as his movies go, or like somewhere in the middle?
Well, so I would have put it down at the bottom if I didn't really talk to anyone about it, though. So, but after talking to Caesar and talking to Paul about it, I would put it more so like in the middle, above like the worst possible twist. So it's a little bit higher towards like the good twist after like talking to Paul and Caesar about it. You know, I don't know. I just feel that it's kind of hard to explain a little bit more of my reasoning because I'm not able to spoil the film for you, and I think again, it has to do with like not knowing certain parts of this, like, so the four horsemen are technically from the Bible, and I haven't read the Bible.
Oh.
And then there's like,
oh Lord,
yeah. So, but that's the good thing. Here's the one good thing about the film that I will say is that there is not a lot of religious undertones in this film.
Okay, good.
There's enough. There's just enough for you to like enjoy the film for what it is, but it's not like heavy-handed. It's not like in your face. It's not like
it's not heavy-handed.
Yeah, it's just not heavy-handed, man. It's just really not, and that's one thing I like about the film. You know,
subtext. And the thing is too, like I will disagree with Aaron on this. Like, it's not a twist. What happens in the film is not a twist.
Right, okay.
It's not a twist.
Okay.
It's not it's because you see what happens. Like, they show you in the trailer what happens, and it's not a twist.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all are really piquing my interest on this shit. Like, there's like,
as far as the Four Horsemen goes, like, that could, Texas Horror Babe had even called it on my review, which is like, I'm gonna guess that these are the Four Horsemen. Yeah, that's exactly who they are. That's exactly who they are. But at no point do you ever feel like it's heavy-handed or it's like a lot of symbolism. There's nothing like that, and it's not even stated till like the very end of the movie where you click like, oh, and if you're familiar with the Four Horsemen, they are coordinated with the colors that are associated to the horsemen.
Yes, but there's the question of the fifth, and that's the one where I'm like totally not aware of. And so I don't know.
I think the fifth was supposed to be the Antichrist, but hold on.
Oh, not according to Paul. I don't know. Paul didn't talk too much about it.
That's us. That's us.
All right, so I mean, if it's a spoiler or not, I don't care. Is this movie connected to any other M. Night Shyamalan movies? Like, you know how he's doing like Split and Unbreakable and Glass. So this is just like his own standalone thing. It's not connected to any of his other movies.
Nah, not connected to any other movies. Oh. Not at all.
Because I was ready for that twist. I was ready for him to, for James McAvoy to pop the fuck up somewhere, and it's like, oh, this is all a shared universe of a movie. I don't know.
No,
hey, I wouldn't be mad at that, though. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, like... It
does take place in Philly, so...
Yeah. I think the plants are alive.
But the chick, I asked that. Another reason I asked that is because the girl from this chick, Nikki Amuka Bird, isn't she the one that was in the movie Old?
Yeah, but it's not far fetched for like directors and actors to work together on multiple projects.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just like, I see that and I automatically think, all right, what the fuck is M. Night Shyamalan up to this time? Because he's always like sneakily doing something that ties these movies together. I don't know.
From my understanding,
I don't want him to do that.
From my understanding, this isn't because this is based off a book. The book's ending is very different.
Is it?
Yeah, so that's why I have a problem with Eric and Andrew, because the book has the ending is very different. Because of that, I never read the book, but like I know what happens at the end of the book, and since I don't have the context, I don't know how like they would get towards the ending in that book. And I think if you were to translate the film, I think it would be
the daughter's. I think the daughter's older in that one.
Probably, yeah, probably. I don't know. Again, I never read the book. That's the only thing that I know is just the ending's very different from this movie. And I just
Giant, if you're still there, man, let me know the difference between the two couples. If you're still in here, man. If not, it's all right. I'll ask you later. But if you're still in here, Giant, let me know if the difference between those two couples.
Yeah, because like
he read the book, and then he definitely said that they were more annoying in the movie as opposed to the book.
Yeah, exactly. See, when you try to rewrite something for screen, sometimes like if you have someone that hasn't really translated a lot of books into films, you run into a disconnect, and that's my major problem with this film, which is I feel no connection to Eric or Andrew. It's mostly through Andrew's point of view. You don't really get anything through Eric at all, and it's just the storytelling. Dave Bautista puts on one of the best performances of his life, man. He's like, it's up there. Dude.
I've heard that. I heard he does a fantastic job in the movie, man. And I'm honestly not surprised, because Dave Bautista, like, even in movies like Army of the Dead, where you don't expect him to do like a lot of like emotional acting, he does a decent job, man. Johnny, I remember me and you. I think you had asked me before we closed out an episode one night. You were like, "Who's the better actor?" And then I went back and I was like, I remember saying The Rock. I enjoyed his movies more, but I remember saying Dave Bautista is really charismatic in his roles. And I went back and thought about it. I'm like, this dude. I appreciate the fact that he doesn't want to just be Drax his whole career. He doesn't want to be typecast his whole career. He wants to. He said in an interview that he wants to do like a rom-com, but nobody will cast him for it. But dude, I like that Batista's
I would
like
totally see
versatile.
Batista in a rom-com. apparently, that's my like guilty pleasures are rom-coms.
The closest to him ever getting to a rom-com is My Spy, because he falls in love with the daughter's mom.
Yeah,
My Spy.
That's right.
I don't think I've seen that. I thought you were going to say Army of the Dead because they try to like force this like romantic thing with him and the chick, and she gets her fucking head twisted around. That was perfect. That was like chef's kiss.
Right?
Yeah.
I think Batista he chooses interesting roles. I think when The Rock started, he started doing interesting roles like Walking Tall, Snitch, Faster. Like I've gone back and like thought about those movies and watched those movies and realized, man, Dwayne put on some vulnerable performances, but it's not until he got into the Fast and the Furious and the blockbusters is where he really let that ego kind of, run wild a little bit.
Chill.
Yeah,
we need
to
still get him on the show. We got to be careful. We have to get him on the show. We have to be careful what we say here, man. We got.
He's running the XFL, dude. He's coming on the show.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "Oh, what?" Like, nah, I'll buy them out. I'm not getting on that fucking show.
Right? Like, I'm gonna listen to a couple of nerds.
yeah, exactly. And then, but you know what? I'm gonna be so emotionally distressed. I'm gonna try to get The Rock canceled if he ever talks shit about our show. I'm gonna be like, listen, I have no desire to do anything creative anymore because of Dwayne Johnson. Like, I'll be on CNN bitching about it, like just to get on his fucking nerves.
Emotional damage.
Dwayne would.
Oh wait, I forgot Dave Bautista was in Glass Onion. That's another one I haven't watched yet. With him.
Oh, he's fucking hilarious in that, dude.
Yeah, he's really.
He looks like he's going to be kind of like just overwhelming muscle head in there, man.
No,
he tones it
The Rock
down.
The Rock is the one that's overwhelming musclehead. I'm tired of him playing himself in all these fucking roles. And he's he definitely did the whole like, you know what, I'm gonna do what Vin Diesel did, but better, and kind of failing at it a little bit because like Vin Diesel, he's like, I just stuck with the Fast and the Furious. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys,
And I had a successful franchise outside of Fast and Riddick. So
that's true.
That's true.
Kiss my ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's another one of those coming out too.
Yeah.
Furia or something like that. The fourth Riddick movie.
Oh, no way.
So
I have to check that out.
So
I was gonna say that The Rock would totally praise your guys' show and say good luck to you, brothers, but in the most condescending way. It's exactly what he would have done.
And then I feel like if we got The Rock on the show, he would probably try to get his own spinoff based on our shit and just like have to take on a life of his own. Because The Rock and this shit dawned on me, man. The Rock has been jacking franchises since the beginning of his career. He was in The Mummy Returns, then he got The Scorpion King. He was oh my God, what was he in that he got a fucking spinoff for early on? I really don't. Oh, he was in G.I. Joe. He wanted a spinoff for G.I. Joe Retaliation. He didn't get it because the second movie just didn't do well at all. Then it was the Hobbs and Shaw shit. Then the Black Adam shit. Like, he does get too big for his bridges, man. He needs to really humble himself. He does need to humble himself, sure. Which movie is that?
Scorpion King was fucking trash, bro.
What? Listen, I don't remember shit from the Scorpion King. I remember Kelly Hu. And Michael Clark Duncan, I think, was in that movie.
I miss that guy, dude. I wish he was still alive.
Yeah, man. Michael Clark Duncan, he was like a gentle giant, man.
An underrated
Dude,
kingpin. An underrated kingpin, by the
God,
way.
I think if he was still alive, dude, he would have had at least maybe 1 Emmy, 1 Golden Globe, and then a freaking
You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it, Romero. He was in Daredevil with Ben Affleck.
He was in with Ben Affleck and Colin Farrell, right?
Yes.
I forgot. Listen, that movie, I've seen it once, and that was it. I remember Jennifer Garner was in there because she got her spinoff for Elektra based. Oh, okay, yeah. So he was Kingpin?
Yeah.
Did that shit?
Yeah.
Hold up, man.
He was in the trailer, dude. He's in the trailer.
He was fucking beating that ass, bro.
Like,
He fucking put that murder through a window, a plate glass window.
Down.
This shit came out in 2003. Jon Favreau was in this.
Yeah, dude. Fucking year.
Leyland Orser was in this.
It's not a good.
I gotta go back. Listen, I'm about to go back and watch all the like throwback 2000 Marvel movies pre-MCU.
Pre-MCU.
Because, like, think about it. People didn't really. I want to go back and try to appreciate that shit because people act like everything that the MCU puts out is like larger than life. It's not. Captain Marvel's garbage.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm not going to say anything about Guardians of the Galaxy because I have yet to sit through both of those movies. But Marvel, everything they put out is not a masterpiece. But look at this shit that came out in the 2000s. You had the early X-Men movies. You had the Blade movies. Elektra, I remember enough to know that movie's not great. That movie's got some fine-ass women in there, but it's not great.
As far as the X-Men movies, I went into the first X-Men movies with an open mind more than anyone else, and people call me fucking crazy for it. Because everyone was complaining about, like, how not comic book accurate any of the storylines are. And at the same time, as someone that wanted to be in the industry, and I'm like, dude, you have to think of these movies as comic books as themselves, as something completely different. You can't go in there with that. Not only that, it's Hollywood, dude. They're always going to make changes. Look how many movies have came out prior to X-Men that they have changed, you know? And it's like, well, what are you talking about? Jurassic Park. That movie is like maybe 2/3 of the actual fucking novel, dude. You know?
Yeah, the Michael Crichton novel,
yeah. You know? So it's just like, come on. Like, you know, things like this is going to happen. It's like, nah, dude.
Hey, Aaron, hold on.
Accurate.
Hold on. You have to know your audience, though. Those people that complain about the comic books read comic books. They don't read novels, bro. That's why they couldn't tell the difference between Jurassic Park and the book.
This is true. I mean, like, I think us having a conversation one of these days, like, about you know, things being transferred to like movie media and stuff like that would be a great conversation because there's
a good topic right there.
Because there's some that are just really, really good and like they nail it and they know how to get to the point, and there's just some that just they want to take the source material and do something on their own and just either they think what the audience want or they think what is cool, you know? And it's just like those producers that are like, no, this is what the kids are talking about. Like, I know what's hip. No, you don't, dude. No, you don't, because you wouldn't put Halo out the way you fucking put Halo out, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
Hold on to that thought. Callie Ramirez said, I thought Jurassic Park was an original movie. Laughing emoji. Hey, you know what? I'm right with you, homie. I'm right with you. I thought Jurassic Park was an original movie too. So like 10 years later, I found out it was based on a book.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
Yeah. I only knew because I was a big ass bookworm when I was a kid. That's the only reason I knew. I probably tried to get my hands on every copy of that Michael Crichton Jurassic Park.
Yeah, dude, freaking! He did The Lost World. He did Congo. He did Sphere. He did the Andromeda Strain. Like, just so many things that he's
You said Sphere?
Yeah, Sphere.
Sphere.
He wrote
like
Sphere.
Sphere was based. Now that I did not know Sphere was based off a novel.
Yeah.
By Michael Crichton. You're talking about the movie with Dustin Hoffman and Samuel Jackson, Sharon Stone, Liev Schreiber, Peter. Yo.
The book's way better than
I need to go to a bookstore ASAP. Sphere was kind of underrated, but I know for a fact the book is way better than the movie. Because Sphere had a lot of plot holes in it.
Yeah,
ton of
it did.
Plot holes in it.
Yeah, Michael Crichton's a really, really good novel. It sucks that he also had a
good
page too. So, you know.
Oh,
anyways, how's the last?
It was
because it's fucking trash. I'm gonna go ape shit. What the fuck?
Wait. What are you talking about?
It's not trash.
Yay! Listen, I gave it 3 episodes. I tried, man. I almost watched episode 4, but I'm like, this shit gave me, like, I was being sold on a zombie or creature type of property, having never played the game. Well, some of the shit that happens because a lot of people haven't seen it. But I'm like, okay, shit hit the fan, and then you flash forward to like 10 or 20 years later, and the shit just drags and slows down after that. And it's just, I just could not be invested. Like, I wasn't invested in any of the characters. The story, like Tess, I like Tess, but that's short-lived. And the clickers was cool, but that scene with the clickers lasts for only 2 seconds.
Okay, so here's the thing, too, that I feel like if you're expecting The Walking Dead, you're really setting yourself up for failure. Because this is not what the show is about. The show is not about zombies. It's not about anything. It's about parenthood. That's what the show's about. That's what it's really about.
Character development, actual arcs, shit that fucking M. Night Shyamalan couldn't do in his
cinema.
Movie.
It's cinema.
Call me crazy.
I can deal with character. I can deal with a slow burn. I made it through fucking season 2 and season 10 and season 11 of The Walking Dead. I can deal with a slow burn. I can deal with filler episodes. I can deal with filler seasons. That shit, just the way that it starts off, I can't, man. I cannot. It's nothing going on, and I'm just watching it. Like, I streamed. I did a live stream on Instagram when I watched, I think it was episode 1 and 2. In episode 3, and I was just like, I don't know, maybe it's me. It's like not abusive relationship, but a toxic relationship where it's like, it's not you, it's me. It's all me.
Giant Music at STLV says Last of Us is dope. It definitely shits on the game, in my opinion.
Oh, wow. See, I can't even touch that.
It's there. Like, I don't disagree with that statement. This series actually heightens the world that The Last of Us, the video game, built. And it is just in. And even though they took liberties with like certain creative decisions, none of those creative decisions take away from the game or the series. It only adds to and heighten the story that they're telling. Unlike Halo, where they took a bunch of liberties and motherfucking just completely shit on the property.
I haven't finished it. Stop it! I have not finished it. I think I only got like 4 or 5 episodes in.
Wait, so did you see the sex scene already or no?
The who?
Nope, that's a no then. Nope, never mind.
Giant said, hold on. Giant said the game was too slow with the storyline and full of hella plot holes. I feel like the show fills in those plot holes. I do agree, because in the game, like, a lot of the obstacles are just that. They're just obstacles. And the game only gives you a limited amount of information because you're playing as Joel. You know what I mean? You don't have a bird's eye view of the world. You only have the certain information that Joel has or Ellie has. And at no point are you smarter than everyone else in the video game. But he is right. So the series does actually add and fill in a lot of those plot holes in the video game. Fireflies, Bill, Frank, Tess, the relationship between Tess and Joel, those are all being nicely filled as the story progresses.
I mean, let me ask you as far as video game adaptations as TV series, is this better than that Resident Evil series that they dropped on Netflix?
Fuck yeah. Because that shit, that, dude. Like, why would you even bring that up? Like, we don't talk about that shit over here, yo.
Again, that's another T'Challa moment where he's like, we don't do that shit. Yeah. Because that shit, listen, I tried with that one, but I said, fuck this shit, man. I don't know what they're doing. They just don't, like, nobody gets it as far as Resident Evil. Nobody gets it. I think Welcome to Raccoon City is the closest we're going to get to the game, but that show, I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know what they were doing.
Music again says Netflix ruined Resident Evil. 100%. 100%. 100%.
They managed to make it. They managed to piss people off more than Paul W.S. Anderson did with those movies. They did. That is true. That is a true story, man. I love those movies. Like Resident Evil is my favorite guilty pleasure franchise. I know those movies are bad, but they're entertaining shit. But when you piss people off more than those movies, that's an accomplishment. Like, I don't know if he should be proud or what. Like, that shit. Then what they did to my man Wesker, like, they had that dude doing Blade cosplay. That shit was terrible, yo. That was, oh my God.
So I saw something on YouTube where they explained that. And they explained that, and I'm like, you have to be shitting me. There's no way that he's a clone. There's no way that he's a fucking clone from the original Wesker. But somehow his pigment got changed, and like now he's black. Like you can't do that. Like why would you want to mess with genetics that way? Like I get if Wesker like made copies of himself and then continued to input memories and all that stuff. But like at one point the person's like, you know what? I'm gonna mix it up and diverse myself and see what happens. You know? And I'm just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. I'm just like, what?
That Wesker shit, first of all, like, if you race swap somebody for the sake, if it fits the story, I'm cool with that. But it's a lot of people that was like, oh, they made Wesker black. And I'm like, we didn't even get white Wesker right to begin with. Now, he was kind of, they got Wesker right a little bit in Resident Evil, was it Afterlife? When he's fighting when he's fighting Claire and Chris, that is kind of how Wesker was in Resident Evil Code Veronica. That's when I gave up on the games, because I'm like, when did Wesker get plugged into the Matrix? He's teleporting, his eyes are red, he's dodging bullets and shit. They did that version of Wesker right, but we still have never really gotten a great version of the character. So to just fucking, we're going to just make him black, let's get the other shit right. It's like when they said they wanted Keke Palmer to play Rogue in the MCU X-Men. Can we get the white Rogue right first?
Nah.
Like, we need her right first. Then let's try something else later on down the line. Like,
no. Keke Palmer is Rogue, and with that southern.
I mean, look.
They gotta find
if it's an alternate version, I'll buy an alternate version. But
nah, I don't know. Like far as Rogue, like White Rogue, like I do agree. Like they do need to get that character right. But if there is like if they make Keke Palmer as Rogue, like as just a race swap, I wouldn't have a problem with it. As long as she still has the powers, the mannerism, and the charm as Rogue, I don't give a shit. Because Rogue is a badass.
That's what I'm saying.
And I like it. And they need to do the same thing with Gambit. I don't give a shit if they race swap Gambit, as long as he still also has the charm. And what is he? He's very charismatic.
As long as he's Cajun.
Yeah, you know?
From the South. That's it. That's all I care. As long as he's Cajun in front of the South. That's all that matters.
As long as the two actors have really good chemistry where you can fucking believe it, dude, that's all you need. That's all you need. I can care less about the actual fucking race, honestly.
Gambit, I don't know. I might be alone on this island here, but I feel like Taylor Kitsch could have been, if they gave him more to do, he could have been a decent Gambit in X-Men Origins, man. I don't know. It's something about when you first see Gambit and he's playing cards in that lounge or whatever. The way that he talks, like when he starts talking, he kind of sounds like he could be Gambit, but then they just don't do shit with him. They have him fly Wolverine in a beat up ass helicopter, and then he pops up at the end and just busts some shit up. And that's it. Like, Gambit's a character. I don't know if they're still going to have Channing Tatum play Gambit. I actually want to see that shit. I don't know about y'all. I want to see it. I want to see him out of his element.
I would see Channing Tatum play 92 Gambit.
I just want to see him out of his element. Like, I hope that they lobby for Channing Tatum to play Gambit in the MCU. I don't know. They might go for a younger actor, because I heard that they're trying to cast like younger actors for the X-Men. I don't know.
Sure. I was going to say something. There are rumors circulating that he is being proposed to appear a cameo in Deadpool 3. Those are rumors. They haven't been verified or anything, but that's been flowing around on Twitter the past few months.
I would not be surprised. And if he pops up, and I hope they don't just do it just to throw it away. Like, don't throw him in there in a cameo role and then just we never see it again. I need that to happen. People have been waiting years for that shit, man.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see his take on Gambit. Like, it'd be interesting. I want to see what he would do with that character. So I think it'd be interesting.
He was on a talk show doing the Cajun accent. I can't remember what talk show it was, but this was years ago, and this was when they first announced that he was going to play Gambit. And I think Doug Liman, the guy that did the Jumper movie, is that Doug Liman? Or is that no? I'm thinking Doug Liman, the guy that did the Jumper movie, was supposed to direct Gambit, but then his shit started going through development hell and all of that other stuff. I almost got that director mixed up with Len Wise. I don't know.
Yeah, Doug Liman.
Hey, Romero, what do you think of the Halo series so far?
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a big Halo fan. I really am. That's my favorite, other than like GoldenEye and Call of Duty. Halo's like number one as far as like first-person shooters, and the story's dope as fuck. But it did kind of throw me off that the dude from Den of Thieves is playing Master Chief, and Master Chief takes his helmet off, and he's an actual character. I feel like it would have been cool if they left like that mystique to the character, but I guess they wanted an actual actor to play him. The casting's cool. I don't know, man. I feel like for Steven Spielberg to have overseen this whole project, like, it should. The look of it's cool, but sometimes it feels a little cheap. Like, when you get the Covenant, it looks a little bit cheap. I think it opened strong, but it's starting to slow up. Like, I'm only like 4 episodes in. I don't know if I think we got the Flood. I don't know if that was the Flood that was killing those people in there. I don't know if that was supposed to be like a version of it. It's cool so far. I wanted to pick up. Like, I'm spoiled as shit with the games and the action and the games and the story, so I'm waiting for it to pick up. And I don't like that it's doing this whole. I'm fucking tired of the child in danger. I need to, we see it with the Mandalorian. We saw it with, like, everybody's being Denzel and Man on Fire. Like, I'm sick of seeing that shit, man. We gotta fucking protect this child from the evil forces. Like, I'm so fucking tired of seeing it, man. Everybody's doing it. And the girl is like, she's not a really likable character. She's kind of fucking annoying. Like, if she got slaughtered with the whole village in the first episode, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have given. It's okay so far, though. Like, I like it so far. I don't like the faces y'all are making right now, man. The faces y'all are making is like got me concerned. Right,
we're looking at you like you crazy, bro. Like, you fucking crazy.
I am a
how I'm crazy.
So look, I stopped playing Halo at 5. That's when I stopped playing Halo. But I'm a huge fan of Halo. I watched hours and hours of YouTube and the lore. I played the games. I tried to collect all the data. Reach is still, like, by far one of the best story Halo-driven games there is out there, because you really get a sense of, like, how Spartans are really supposed to be. I've even seen, like, the mini-series. I've seen Halo Legends. I've seen people talk about the books and how they are. And this, like, just strips a lot of it away, dude. This series is, like, there's a lot of cool things in the series, like, tons of cool scenes, and then there's a few things here and there, but, like, after watching the video docs, like, that happens after the episodes, and they try talking to producers, like, you can tell they don't know what they're fucking even talking about, because they never played the fucking game, They kept saying stuff like, oh yeah, we want to bring things for the fans, as they're, like, kind of like looking to the side to see, like, is that what am I supposed to say, right, for the fans? But I mean, I still get my $500 for saying that, right? Even Levi Schreiber even says, like, there's the guy that plays one of the I forgot what's his name, but he's also an underrated actor, and he's in a bunch of stuff, but he's one of the so you've seen the second episode, the guy that's running the mining town?
Bokeem Woodbine?
Yeah, Bokeem Woodbine. like when his interview in one of the episodes is just so lackluster. Like he only did it to get a paycheck. Like, oh my god! Like they want to say this series has heart, dude, and stuff, but it doesn't, dude. Like it really doesn't. Like, I'm sorry.
There's no heart to this because, like, right away you had Master Chief unmasking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens early. It happens pretty early.
That wasn't even earned. Like, get the fuck out of here. When Mando took off his mask, that was earned.
Yeah.
That was not earned.
Yeah.
I was about to say, Master Chief doesn't even take his mask off. I don't know if y'all saw, it was like a straight-to-DVD thing. I think it's called Halo Forward Until Dawn. I don't even think he takes his mask off in that movie.
He didn't.
I think it was a movie. Was it a movie or a series?
Yeah, it was like it was a movie, but it was like a short movie, and I think it was like a web movie, and I think they turned it into a DVD. I seen that one, and two of the characters in that one at the end with Master Chief, I believe, are also in this one. I think it's 112 and 115, I believe. But John is definitely 117. But yeah, at the end of that, when they're in the Pelican and they're taking off, like he doesn't take his helmet off at all. The other two do, and the kids realize, oh my god, they're kids as well, you know. So like that was one of the first things when they started going against the Covenant first. And this one right here in this series, we're already going against the Covenant. And what makes me pissed off about this series too is that Dr. Halsey, like the timeline with everything is just fucked. It's just completely fucked. So I had, like, after watching the entire series, I have no choice but to think that this is an alternate universe or a silver timeline or something completely different, because like it doesn't even really coincide with Reach or the other games. You know, Cortana looks amazing. I think she looks CG.
Yeah, Cortana was spot on. That was something where I got the warm fuzzies because I've always liked her character in all the games she's in. So that was something that they got spot on. I mean, it opened strong, but again, it's one of those shows, as much as I want to like it, I can't bullshit. Like, it's amazing. Like, I remember somebody who I grew up with with the games, they were like, you haven't watched it, man? That was our shit when we was coming up and we were gaming. And I'm like, yeah, but it's starting to slow down. Like, it opens up great. I love when the Covenant just starts slaughtering everybody with the energy swords and the plasma. And Master Chief and his crew come in, and it feels like a video game. It looks great, but then after that, you get this slow burn. We've got to protect this girl. Oh no, we got to kill her. Oh, Master Chief's going to betray the squad and try to save her. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a slow ride for me. I mean, I'm going to finish it, but there's a lot of other shows that I'm gonna jump back on before I even get back.
I will say, just be prepared for military politics. So Attack of the Clone kind of shit. So. And with that is my cue to leave. Oh man,
that's funny as fuck. Oh my god.
Am I wrong, Johnny?
No, you're not.
Exactly. You're better off watching the show Players. That it's a mockumentary about like League of Legends players, dude. Now that shit's fucking funny. And that's also on Paramount Plus.
Shameless plug, you fucking Mark. Fucking Mark. Trying to get that free fucking subscription? Fucker.
Hey, if you guys get a free subscription, remember to say hey, thank you to me, all right?
He could have said you, Mark. Oh my god.
Fuck you, Mark. Oh my god. That's hilarious.
Look at this, the abyss.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oof.
So, we're gonna do movies that deserve sequels. Do you want to stick around? Oh wait.
Sorry.
Aaron, you still there?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, you were buffering for a minute, that's why.
I was out of sight real quick.
So you want to do our movies that deserve sequels already? You jump onto that? Do you want to stick around?
I mean, I'll probably watch, but I'm not quite sure what movies deserve sequels right now. I'm trying to think. You guys go
Maybe
on.
you can be our mediator, and you can either green light it or stop it. How about that?
I'm down. I'll be a producer.
All right.
There we go.
I'll tell you
go.
I'll tell you what the kids want in movies.
Let's do this. All right.
You gotta make sure after every movie we name and after every opinion you give, whether you greenlight it or not, it's like.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I gotta hop out of screen really quick. I can still hear you guys, but I gotta hop out of screen real quick. So if it looks like I'm buffering, I'm in a different app really quick.
All right. Okay, you ready? You want to go first? You want to kick this off?
I'll go first. I feel like my number one you already got on your list though. So my number one for movie. Oh, first of all, I gotta put a disclaimer up. Some of these, I think 4 of them are movies that are already sequels that I think should have a sequel. The rest of them are just like standalone films. Because I wasn't sure if we were like doing that or not. But my number. Should I start from number 1 or number 9? I got 9. I got a lot.
I only got 6. Let's do 6. Let's go from 6 on to 1.
All right. Okay. So my number 6. All right. My number 6 is going to be. I'm gonna just get it out the way and say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Out of the Shadows deserves a sequel. I don't give a fuck. I will stand firm on that opinion, and I'm gonna tell you why. Everybody, listen. He already put a thumbs down on my shit. Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs down.
No.
Listen,
I'm not Siskel and Ebert. I'm a producer. That's not gonna make me money. My money is not gonna come back to you. I am not going to.
Listen,
make the money.
It's about what the kids want. I'm gonna tell y'all why.
What the kids want. They want TikTok. They want influencers. They want that. You gave me Donatello as an influencer and Mike as an influencer, then maybe we can talk. But if you're gonna make a sequel to Out of the Shadows,
I can't hate on that because he actually has a solid point there. I'm not gonna see a return on my investment. I hate to agree with them, but you got a fucking point.
Listen, Out of the Shadows deserves a sequel. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because when before that, what was it, 2016 or 2015, when the reboot came out, everybody automatically shit on it right away. And that was mainly the people that not even grew up with the cartoon, but grew up with that 1990 movie. And don't get me wrong, that is still the shit. That movie it's got heart, it's got soul, it's dark in tone, it's awesome. But everybody like unfairly judged the reboot before it even came out. So nobody really took the time out to appreciate that shit. I watched it like a couple weeks ago, and that movie has got some really good film sequences in it. Even though it's like CG overload, that movie's solid enough, and there's enough nods to the original, even down to the rooftop fight with Shredder. Only difference is it's in the daytime. But the one thing I don't like about that movie, that reboot, is that it does like what the Marvel shit does. Is a whole bunch of debris and shit falling off of buildings. They're destroying everything. Nobody gets killed. Everybody's out of the way when shit's falling on the ground. The sequel was probably the closest I got to the cartoon. And the fact that they set up so much shit for a part 3, and I think the second one did really bad at the box office, and it got bad. Even the cast that played the Turtles were talking shit about the movie because they didn't get like proper promotion. They weren't allowed at the premieres and shit like that or whatever. I think Alan Richardson did. Alan Richardson talked about how bad they treated them on the set of that movie. That shit definitely deserves a third one because, for one, I didn't get to see what's his name, Baxter Stockman.
Baxter, yeah.
He didn't get to transform. First of all, if they did a third one, Casey Jones has to die because Stephen Amell, ain't that his name that played Casey Jones? I don't know what the fuck he was doing. His ass has got to go. Bebop and Rocksteady should have came back, but they should have been way more violent. They set up Kang was supposed to come back. I think Shredder was supposed to come back. Johnny, didn't we say that they were supposed to do like the planet?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Dimension X coming back and invading Earth.
Listen, I feel like even if it would have bombed, I would have wanted to see part 3 because that shit they would have went Mortal Kombat Annihilation. They would have threw everything at the wall to see what sticks, and it would have been the cartoon come to life. I needed part 3 of that. I feel like if we got part 3 in the 90s, Turtles in Time, that bullshit, we definitely deserved a part 3 with the CG Turtles. Because that 90s, like, there's no reason we got the 90s one, that Turtles in Time shit. That was terrible. I feel like the third one with the CG Turtles would have been way better.
It is sound as a video game, but it's not as sound as a fucking movie. Whoever greenlight that shit, man, I hope does not make more movies, because fuck that guy. Guy ruined Turtles for like years.
Romero, if you can find me a writer and another producer aside from Michael Bay that can respect the source material and bring it back to current times in a sense where like you're really going to appease the fans and bring in new audience, I'm totally down for it, man. Honestly,
Michael Bay needs to stay the fuck away from. I wouldn't even want Michael Bay to touch that shit because he doesn't. Michael Bay got in the habit of putting his name on shit and not knowing shit about it. It's like when Michael Bay produced the Friday the 13th reboot. He walked out of the premiere because he said it was too much sex. And it's like, do you know what you're a part of? Like, you just put your name on it for money? And you walked out, oh, it's too much. It's too raunchy. Too much sex. I'm out of here. Like, Michael Bay, like, I like Michael Bay. He's one of, like, the best action directors for me. But I don't, sometimes he ain't all the way there. I don't know what the fuck his problem is.
No, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah. But no,
okay.
No, I would not.
But that's my number 6.
The third one.
Okay, so my number 6 is actually kind of controversial because I don't think anybody wants to see this sequel. Masters of the Universe Part 2: The Return of Skeletor.
Yeah, we can.
Because he's in the post credits.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can do this. We can totally do this one.
Post credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first post credit sequences.
Yeah,
the thing with Masters of the Universe 2, what you can do with Part 2, you can technically retcon the first film. You can. With Part 2, with Skeletor coming in like that, you can just give a quick like synopsis of the first film or like a quick like retcon and still kind of have it be canon. And then you just get some like you need to get someone like that's going to be good as a He-Man. You know, someone that's going to be kind of like built like He-Man, and you can.
Hulk Hogan.
I don't think you need to get someone that's super. Yeah. The thing about He-Man though, I don't think you need to get someone that is like super well known at all. You know, but I think if you get someone that is the voice of Skeletor, that is well known, and bring it back also to that iconic voice of how Skeletor is from the cartoons to a certain extent, then I think you may have something. You may have something though.
I don't know.
It's
Kellen Lutz
was He-Man, honestly.
at some point.
Yeah, it's a tough one because, like, you know, when Michael Bay did Transformers, he changed the voice of Megatron, but he didn't change the voice of Optimus Prime. You know, and Hugo Weaving, I think, was a good choice for the voice of Megatron, and I think it really worked out for the Transformers series because it wasn't too like jarring. But I think the same kind of care and attention to that needs to happen to Masters of the Universe 2 with Skeletor.
Wait,
are you guys researching? Are you guys researching who to play Skeletor?
No. No, I'm like I'm closing out tabs and shit. But I wonder what happened to that. They were doing a Masters of the Universe reboot, and Kellen Lutz was supposed to play. He was supposed to play He-Man. I don't know what happened to it.
Funding, probably most likely.
I don't know who could play He-Man, honestly. Like, in this day and age, I don't know who would play He-Man.
That's the thing about it, though, because like with He-Man, I think you would have to have someone that's up and coming, and I feel like if you try to grab someone that's already established, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work at all. I mean, no matter who you choose, like, I don't think it's really gonna work. I think you need a someone.
Brock Lesnar.
I think you need someone to be like built like Arnold, but not have the voice of Arnold.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, is that a wrestler? I feel like
it's another wrestler. Yeah, I'm just throwing out wrestlers out right now.
First you said Brock Lesnar.
No, technically, first I said Hulk Hogan, but yeah, no, come on.
Would would you bring back, and if you did a sequel to it, would you bring back, wasn't that Courtney Cox?
Courtney Cox, yeah, I'd definitely bring her back. Why not? She returned for screen.
Bring back bring back whatever the hell that thing was, that fucking accordion guitar, whatever that thing was that they were playing. That is one of the greatest movie props I've ever seen in my fucking life, man. I love that thing. Whatever the hell it is, that thing that they're playing throughout the movie, that shit is the stuff dreams are made of, man. I love that thing. I don't know what it is, but I love it.
That would be mine. I don't have no justification to make it, but Masters of the Universe, man, Part 2, Return of Skeletor. Like, I just think that'd be fucking fire, bro.
I think that shit would be good
fire.
Too. My only concern though is that if I'm on the project with any other producers, I'm going to have to tell them that they need to stick closer to the source material and not bring that shit to Earth. I don't want He-Man or anyone coming to planet Earth and being like a fish out of fucking water movie with Skeletor being the villain. We need to stay within the fantasy realm, and we need to stay within that realm, with He-Man's story, his arc. First we got, his origin. Now we got to get to the part where he's becoming more as He-Man, who the man who becomes He-Man, and what he stands for. That's what we need.
All right. So what you got next, Romero? What's your number 5?
My number 5, I'm still waiting for this, and I've always had my fingers crossed. I know people have had their fingers crossed since I think 88 when this shit came out. Killer Clowns from Outer Space needs a sequel. I will die on that island, and the fact that the Kyoto brothers have been teasing this shit for decades is really pissing me off. They went as far as there's a video game out. There's what is it at Universal Studios, whatever it is, there's an attraction for it.
Yeah, they got
there's
haunted house.
Like, come on, man. The ending of that movie is just, the clowns, they threw pies at these motherfuckers to let them know, listen, we're still around. We'll be back soon. Just call it the Return of the Killer Clowns. Simple and plain. Have the Kyoto brothers come back. What I wouldn't want them to do, don't go CG overload. Make it practical. Make it as practical as can be. Only use the CG where you need to.
Yeah,
and bring back,
bring
back Suzanne Snyder and I can't remember the two other actors' names, Dave and Mike, the guys that play Dave and Mike. Bring those 3 back, but don't make it weird. Did y'all ever notice in the original Killer Clowns, there's this weird love triangle between those 3? Even down to the point where the cop Dave is caressing on Mike's girlfriend while he's right there, and it's it's weird. It's weird, but yeah. That movie definitely deserves a sequel and new designs for the clowns. Different types of clowns.
No.
No new designs for the clowns?
No, keep the same designs.
What?
Same designs.
Just
upgrade them. Just upgrade them, but don't change them.
New versions of the clowns. The same clowns that we got from the original, but new clowns that we haven't seen.
I recently watched a clip with the clowns, and the clowns still hold up.
Yeah, the effects are good for that shit. Yeah, but I'm saying, keep the core group. I'm saying keep the core group, the clowns. You had the small one that boxed the dude's head off. You had the fat one that had that nasty ass smile. You had the one with the spiked hair. You had your core group, and then notice how the other clowns popped up when they at the end of the movie. And then you had the big one. You had the one that jumped out of the clothes hamper. Just give us some new weird versions of them, some hybrid versions or something. I
would say that what you're saying is totally sellable. Totally sellable. If you were to keep it more closer to the original with all practical effects, a couple new designs of a little bit of their clown circus infrastructure a little bit, and then I would say to make it more fun and interesting, set it at least 3 years later or 4 years later, so we're in the 90s instead of the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And so their technology has grown a little bit, but at the same time, ours as a species have grown a little bit too with our technology and stuff like that. And it make a couple small silly 90 references that a lot of people are gonna because I think it's good. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it'll be good.
You don't think so, Johnny?
You want to keep it in
the 90s?
No. I know. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even keep it in the 80s. I'd make it now.
Like right now?
I make it now. I make it like 2022, 2023. Have social media play a big part in the clowns. They become memes. They become memes. They start becoming memeable while they're doing some crazy shit.
The first thing I thought of was when that guy. I thought of like somebody putting the clowns on like Instagram Live or something. As soon as you said it now, I thought of when Texas Chainsaw Massacre took place now, and that dude's got the phone up to Leatherface. He's like, try anything in your cancel, bro. Like, I would go for either or, honestly. If they said it in the 90s, I feel like the references would be fucking spot on. Yeah. But if they said it now, like, I could see that too. Like, I could see either one, honestly. As long as they bring the clowns back.
I'd set it now because I think there's more that you could do with it, and then also you could still make fun. You could make fun of the 80s. You know what I mean? Because like, shit they're doing in the 80s, like, oh, like, that's still 80s. Like, that shit don't work today. Like, that shit don't scare us. Like, they have, like, a big fucking, like, cotton candy laser gun pointing at the, like, that doesn't scare us. You know what I mean?
Another thing that I wouldn't want them to do if they made a part 2, like, you know how when they do certain sequels, they just go, like, they take everything that was comedic about the first one and they kind of just try to go with this modern dark tone. That wouldn't work. I feel like they need to keep it as cheesy and silly as the first one was. Don't make it, I mean, the first one, I think I don't know if it was like unintentional scary moments in there, but a lot of the shit in the first one used to scare me back in the day. Not so much now, but keep it so that it's creepy enough so that the clowns are a threat, but still make it cheesy, still make it fun, still make it goofy. You know, I don't think it was meta back then. Don't make it meta. Don't make it.
The only meta commentary should be like the clowns being memes. Like that's the only meta commentary that it should have. In my opinion,
I'm trying to think if they had any meta moments in the original. I think the only meta moment was the fact that the Rich and Paul drove a ice cream truck with the clown on top of it. Like that was the only thing that kind of poked fun at the idea that the clowns were, you know, whatever.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I also think that too, that they should God, it was on the tip of my tongue right now. Have new ways of killing humans. Honestly, like since we've come a long way in circus acts, I think it would be really funny to see them kind of like not rehash a lot of the same jokes that were in that original film, but come up with newer ones. And then, like, if they are going to reuse them, I think they should like elevate them at least to either make them either more horrifying or more comedic.
Yep.
You know, so there's a lot more you can do. So
yeah, because that's another thing that a lot of these like decades old sequels do. They use those original jokes and those original gimmicks as a fucking crutch just to push the story along. And the movie wouldn't work if they do that. Like, okay, we don't want to see them doing shadow puppets and killing everybody. If somebody gets their head knocked off, it's like it's a fine line between throwing like little Easter eggs from the original and just using that shit just to skate by and, you know, get the movie over and done with. Yeah. So that wouldn't work. Like, but I agree. Like, have all new stuff for them to do, new ways to kill people. Yeah, that shit would definitely work. Yeah. We need to get the Kyoto. Do the Kyoto brothers have an Instagram page?
Yeah, they do.
They were in Watsonville.
I think it's Kyoto Bros.
Yeah, they were in Watsonville last
year.
I
don't know what I'm spelling right now.
Yeah, they were in Watsonville last year. Yeah, celebrating like the 30th or 20th anniversary of Killer Clowns, which was pretty cool. Okay. Yeah. My next one is one that's actually been in development for motherfucking years. And I don't think it's ever going to happen because I don't think this is going to be Quentin Tarantino's final film. But The Bride, Volume 3.
Damn, I didn't even think of that, man. I should have put that shit on my list.
Vernetta Green's daughter, who might be cast as Zendaya, take on Uma Thurman's actual daughter, Maya Hawke, in the main event of the century.
Yep.
Yeah. Come on.
I don't know if I would call it The Bride, though. That would be a tough sell. But
no, because the actual film is actually called The Bride.
Fair enough. Still, but
But you can't call it Kill Bill either because you already killed Bill.
No, I wouldn't
Kill
call it Kill Bill
Beatrix.
either. You know, I wouldn't even call it that. But like The Bride, I think The Bride is a good name for this for people that are big fans of Quentin Tarantino, and I think it's like it's an easy sell for the fans.
I don't
think
think,
it's a harder sell
but
for the general audience.
I think you underestimate Tarantino's like popularity. Like I think you put Quentin Tarantino presents The Bride or something else. Like I think you're still gonna have. I mean, look at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like that's a fucking. I think that's a cheesy ass name, but that still became one of his biggest hits. The Hateful Eight. That's another one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. I mean, come on, he does have weird titles for some of his movies, so I mean, it's feasible. But I just came up with The Bride just off top. So, but yeah, Kill Bill Volume 3. I think that would be a fire fucking movie. Like, regardless of what it's called, that would be a fire movie.
Yep.
Yes, and I know you were I know you pitched that idea to us too at Cinemspace a while, Jesus, before the pandemic.
That would have been fire, dude. Like, man, Zendaya, Maya Hawke, yeah, dude. Like, I want to see that movie, but I don't think that's going to be his last movie. So, unless he backtracks and says, yeah, I'm going to make one more movie.
I mean, he still wants to do Star Trek. He wants to do his version of Star Trek, and I
don't know if I want to see that. I'll be real. Like, I don't know if I want to see that.
All I know is that there's going to be some alien chick with green feet. That's it.
Yeah.
All up in the camera.
He's there with 3 feet. He does have this weird obsession with. I thought it was just like a rumor or like a crazy theory, but that motherfucker really does have an obsession with people's feet in movies, man.
I had posted the scene of Santiago Palexco from Dusk Till Dawn, and that in one of the editorials I had said. When Selma Hayek puts her foot in Quentin's mouth, I said, this is where his foot fetish began.
Listen, shit, that's where my foot fetish would have began, too, if Selma Hayek was pouring fucking, I don't know if it was beer or liquor down her leg and that shit. Listen, I don't really like toes all that much, but she had me sold on toes in that movie. My fucking foot fetish would have began as well. And I'm not even going to.
Not me, man. Someone's walking barefoot through a fucking bar and decides to put their toe in my fucking mouth, I'm out. This is unsanitary. Fuck that noise.
Yo, another thing with if they did do a Kill Bill Volume 3, Uma Thurman has to. I always felt like Uma Thurman should die in the second act. By the end of the second act, she has to die. So we got that build up for the third act final battle with Nakia and Bibi. It has to happen. Like I wouldn't feel right if Uma Thurman survives the whole movie or gets killed in the third act. I feel like we should get that Infinity War. Oh shit! Somebody died. Somebody really important died. What do we do now? Then we go into the third act where these two are about to meet up and beat the fuck out of each other. I don't know. Like I feel like the casting choices would be dope in that movie though. Quentin Tarantino would have to get some familiars for that. And some new faces too.
Man, like I'm telling you, BB as Zendaya, and right? Is it BB or the other one?
Nakia as Zendaya as Nakia. I like that casting. When there were rumors of that happening, I was like, okay, if you couldn't get a hold of the original actress, she's probably the same.
She's of age. She'd be of age.
If you can't get her and Maya Hawke, I never knew that was Uma Thurman's real daughter. Never knew until like recently.
Yeah, I didn't know that was her real.
I didn't know until after I watched Fear Street, and then Elisa dropped that on me. I was like, "What? Are you serious?" And then I looked it up. I was like, "Oh, Elisa." Yeah, she's the opening kill in Fear Street, 1994.
The girl that works at the mall.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh shit! God damn.
Okay. What else? What do you got? What else do you got? What's your next one?
I think mine's is a little controversial because this movie bombed, and I feel like
John Carter.
Yeah, listen. My whole like I feel like I just got recalled. We cannot talk about that movie. Like we can't. I say it's controversial because a lot of people bitched and complained. They bitched because there was a certain cast member missing from this. They bitched because there was a certain casting choice in this, and they bitched because of the rating and where they went with the story. Terminator Salvation needs a sequel because Terminator Salvation, we finally got to see the war. We finally got to see the resistance. We got this gritty Rogue One looking version of Terminator that I was waiting to see since Terminator 2. And everybody bitched, oh, it's PG-13. Fine. Everybody was like, oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger's not in it. Christian Bale can't shake the Batman voice. All they had to do, McG, people can say what they want about McG and the Charlie's Angels movies, all that shit. McG, first of all, him, Anton Yelchin as a young Kyle Reese, that's a cast and steal in itself. And all they had to do, because they were on the right track with the story, was make 2 more movies. This was on the verge of being the trilogy that was going to set up the fucking box set. All you had to do was make 2 more. The 5th movie probably would have been that filler movie where you get the character development, you get a lot of story, not a lot of action. The 6th movie is when John Connor dies, Kyle Reese gets sent back in time, Arnold gets sent back to 1984, and then, I don't know, you do whatever you want with it after that. You reboot it, you do, like, other sequels, but they had their trilogy jump-started with Terminator Salvation, but everybody fucking complained and said, oh, we can't have a Terminator movie without Arnold. Then we got Terminator Genesis, and everybody realized, oh, shit, even with Arnold Schwarzenegger, we can get one of the worst Terminator movies ever made. Like, it was such a fucking wasted opportunity, man. And it's so disappointing because Terminator Salvation has, like, one of the best looks of any Terminator movie that we've ever got, like, next to Terminator 2. Just that whole, we're fighting for our lives, the war against the machines, like, everything that Part 3, I don't like Part 3, but everything that Part 3 set up in Rise of the Machines, we saw it play out. We saw John Connor and Catherine Brewster. She was pregnant with their child. You got the Blair Williams, Moon Bloodgood's character as Blair Williams. She was a badass in that movie. And while I don't like Sam Worthington, he was okay in the movie, but his accent kept slipping. So that didn't. And then, like, you get the 3rd act was a nod to the first movie, where it's in the factory and the T-800s are all over the place, and then they're getting hunted down by the T-800. He gives John Connor his scar, like his classic scar. I don't know. I just feel like it was on the right track. Anton Yelchin, R.I.P. shout out to him. He could have been in the next 2 movies as Kyle Reese. I feel like he was definitely that he was better. He was a better Kyle Reese than fucking Jai Courtney. That's for damn sure. And yeah, I think I'll just end it at that. Like, I feel like Terminator Salvation got a rotten deal, and we got 2 more movies after that don't even match up to it. You know what I mean? Like, that, it's so disappointing every time I watch it because I want that story to just keep going on. And we'll never see it. We'll never see it again, man, because nobody gave it a fucking chance. Like, it's so one of the most disappointing.
Fucking amazing trailer to 9 Inch Nails, The End of the World. Like, that was an amazing fucking trailer.
I was hyped for it, man. I was so fucking hyped for that movie. And it was not a bad action movie. It was just a bit watered down because of the rating. Like, I wanted to see, after Terminator 2, like, you're never really going to get a movie that's better than Terminator 2. I don't care who directs it. But that is probably the closest we got to something that was, like, a competent sequel. Dark Fate is not the worst for me, but Dark Fate tried it and they failed. Salvation, at least story-wise, on the right track.
Motherfucking dude, hold on. Motherfucking Cali Ramirez 831 just ended this conversation, bro, because I totally agree. Chronicle needs a sequel. Yes.
Ooh, that's the Josh Trank movie?
Yes.
The movie with Michael B. Jordan and whatever his name is from
DeHaan.
Yeah, that's his name. Chronicle was actually pretty decent. That movie was good,
fucking
man.
Fire.
Yeah,
I was very surprised when I saw that movie.
I don't know if Chronicle does need a sequel or not, though. That's the thing. Okay, well, back to Terminator Salvation really quick. That one, I would totally greenlit for the sequels for that one. I totally agree with everything that Romero has to say about Terminator Salvation. And it has a very nice aesthetics. Even at rated PG-13, I think you still could have done something still spectacular, even at a PG-13 rating. Like, I don't think the ratings play too heavily in that series. But I do agree with most of your sentiment about that series of with the two movies and everything. Because I would have loved to see how the AI would have progressed to try to continue to outsmart humanity, and humanity still being prevailed. And I would have loved it if they did the Star Wars route too, where the second movie is totally Empire Strikes Back. The humans get their asses kicked heavily, and then only to come back and bring it back in the third film. And at that point too, I probably wouldn't even care if there's some bullshit MacGuffin thing where you just all had to do was unplug the fucking server. I wouldn't give a shit. Long as the action was fucking cool, I'm totally down. I'm totally down. As far as Chronicle, on the other hand, I can see a sequel for it, but at the same time, I don't think it really needs a sequel, because the thing that gives them the power, the way it ended, but also the thing that gives them power leaves the planet, So I mean, unless that thing is gonna come back to Earth and go and affect or give powers to another group of kids, and then the people from the first movie are gonna go up against the newer generation, then that's a little weird. Unless the threat's gonna come from outer space. But I think Chronicle is such a good movie within itself. I think I don't really think that one deserves a sequel.
Send your fucking hate to Aaron De La Torre, man. So that guy right there in the bottom right corner. Yeah, that guy. The guy that looks like Duck Dynasty over there. Send your hate mail to him.
Damn.
Take my guns. I don't have any guns.
All right. So my next one is also another controversial movie, and also another bomb. Another bomb, which this should have been. I don't like the movie, but I do like the performance, and it's Spawn 2. I want to see Spawn 2.
Spawn 2? Oh, the Spawn movie. Oh, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. No, see, here's the thing. I wouldn't greenlit Spawn 2. That one, I would totally greenlit a reboot, but I would not greenlit a Spawn 2.
I would make a Spawn 2 already blocked.
She said already blocked.
Blocked! Got him. I don't know. I think Spawn 2 could work. I think it could work. I think if you tone down the CGI and you make it, and you kind of just retcon it just a little bit, because Tom McFarlane has so much interference with I don't need all that negativity in my life. Facts, man.
Would you bring back Michael Jai White? Bring back Michael Jai White?
Absolutely. And I bring back John Leguizamo as a clown. I bring him back as a clown. Because I thought he was really great in that role. Yeah. But I would make it just a little darker, and I would tone down the CGI, and then kind of do the Wolverine Logan route, where you kind of acknowledge the first, but you still make it its own thing, because the Wolverine did that.
Wasn't that movie also PG-13?
What, the Wolverine?
No. Spawn, the first
one. Spawn was PG-13, but then you can make Spawn 2. Yeah, it's PG-13.
Yeah,
they had a scene. This is a true story. This is on the DVD. Tom McFarlane had shot a scene in a cemetery with a couple talking about iced tea, the drink iced tea, and they were going to give him a fucking NC-17 rating just for that scene. And he's like, why? They're just talking about a drink, but they're in a cemetery, and the illusion is that you're gonna have sex on a cemetery. It's no, they're having a picnic in a cemetery, and you're gonna give me an NC-17 rating? I was like, dude, MPAA is weird, bro.
Yeah, I don't understand the MPAA at fucking all, man.
If you want to understand that, watch the documentary. This film's not rated.
Is that based on the MPAA?
Yep.
Listen, let me write that down. Put that on the watch list. What's it called?
Not rated.
This film is not rated. Yeah, this is a very good documentary, and then you find out later that a lot of the MPAA people are people that work for the fucking studios, bro. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Okay. Oh, that's right, because we said let's do 6. All right. This Johnny, we're actually pretty familiar with this movie that needs a sequel. We actually covered this movie from start to finish. If I don't know if you remember or not, but the movie that deserves a sequel, Halloween Resurrection. As much as I hate that, what that was.
I was gonna fucking that was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, oh, he's not talking about Resurrection. It's a trap. There's no fucking way that's what he's talking about.
Listen, great minds think alike, man. I mean, we can both bounce off of this one right here, man, because I think we both said the same things about this movie when we did our commentary for it. It's open ended. It's a lot of stuff that you can go on with. The only thing, like, I'll let you touch on a lot of this, but the one thing that I would do, I would actually keep this. I remember I did this when I actually started writing like a fan script for Halloween 9. And one of the things I did that I feel like should stick as far as this movie goes, fucking kill Busta Rhymes and Bianca Kylick in the first 5 minutes of this movie. Get their characters out the way. We don't need to see Freddie Harris and Sarah Moyer anymore. Kill them off screen, and let's move on from it. Let's move on. That's it. Another thing I would do is I would if I did a sequel to Resurrection, I'm going to include every single Halloween movie in Halloween 9. Every single one, even Season of the Witch. All of them. I don't know how, but all of them would be included in my version of Halloween 9. Every single movie. It can be done. It's going to be hard.
I wouldn't disagree with you. The only thing I would disagree with you on is probably killing Busta Rhymes, because you need him to give you those shitty one-liners, man. Instead of saying, like, he should come out and be like, "Peek-a-boo, motherfucker," and then punches Michael Myers in the face, and then gets the axe across the chest. You know I'm just joking with you, right? I hope you know I'm joking.
Busta Rhymes, like, listen, musically awesome, amazing. He's like on another planet. As far as Resurrection, I would have him get killed off screen, but the news report, it would have to be the most gruesome shit that you ever heard in your life. Like all of his limbs were ripped off and his skull was shoved up his ass. Like he's one of the most obnoxious characters in the whole Halloween franchise. Everybody talks shit about Tina.
You don't like when he says it's about to get attracted. You don't like that? This is fire.
Everybody talks shit about Tina in Halloween 5. Tina at least risked her life and died for Jamie. She died for Jamie in that movie, and people do not give Wendy Kaplan's character credit the way they should. Everybody hates her character, but they give fucking Busta Rhymes a pass in a Halloween movie. No.
I give Busta a pass. Fuck that. I'm like, nah.
Terrible.
I'm good.
And I like Bianca Kylick, but her character, she can't scream. Like, there's no point in having a scream queen that can't scream. They had to dub all her screams over with the same shit every time. So she got to go too. And kill Miles. Kill Deckard. Kill Deckard. Kill that motherfucker too.
So basically just kill everybody. Just kill everybody.
Kill everybody that survived the last movie. Everybody. Have Deckard die because he's in Sarah's room at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. Have Michael, let's do a nod to the second movie. Have Michael go in there, kill Deckard, Sarah, and Freddy. Boom.
And have him stream it on like AOL.com.
Yeah, exactly. Because fuck that.
The 56K. My kid just recently heard a 56K modem in a movie. She's like, "What is that noise?" And I'm like, "That's how we used to log on to the internet."
Yeah.
Oh my God! Evil dies tonight.
Christmas dies tonight. Oh my God. Oh shit! I can't believe John Leguizamo said that shit, man. Christmas dies tonight.
Say that. And what was that? Violent Night.
Violent Night. Yeah, when he's about to kick Santa's ass.
They knew exactly what they were doing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, Halloween Resurrection definitely, like, I feel like there's a group of people that have been waiting on that outside of me and you putting that on our list. I feel like it definitely should happen. It's one of the directions they could go in now because they finally wrapped up the Laurie Strode shit. Thank God. The Halloween 9 needs to be made at some point. I feel like they should get
in the most fucking unceremoniously way, because goddamn, dude, that was some bullshit. But that's neither here nor there.
I know.
What?
I know. Oh, and I would bring back. I know I said that we need to. I never want to see Jamie Lee Curtis in another Halloween movie, but when I did start writing that Halloween 9 script, she's in there. She's in there, and she's visiting. She's visiting Danielle Harris's grave. Like, she's visiting Jamie Lloyd's grave in the fucking movie. Yeah, I had her survive. It's far-fetched. I got Tommy in there. I got Kara in there. Steven, Danny. I forgot who else I had in there.
I had
Tommy,
Paul Rudd Tommy, or motherfucking
I had Paul Rudd's Tommy. I didn't have Brian. I didn't have Brian Andrews. I had Paul Rudd's Tommy in there just because him and Marion Hagen are in Halloween 6.
Yeah.
But I had like Steven. Steven was having like he was a baby in Halloween 6, so he kept having nightmares where it's just Steven's POV shot of him looking up at the cult members and shit like that. Him and Tommy's arm, him and Jamie's arm. So Steven doesn't know why he's having the nightmares other than what his family members tell him. And I forgot what else I had in there. I don't think I had the Man in Black in there. Loomis has got like a statue in Haddonfield or some shit. I wrote this shit a long time ago, so I don't really remember everything that's in it. But I'm basically trying to tie everything together in that idea. But they definitely need to make that shit happen.
Fan fiction is it's not necessarily bad. I like fan fiction is usually good because it definitely challenges your creativeness, and and it makes you wonder too if you get something that you can actually do in real life. And when you have other people, when you tell other people that are like fans of the property or the franchise, you'll either get people that are like totally agreeing with you. And that's good because like it just shows that you have a deep appreciation for the franchise and for the characters, and
right?
Stuff like that, and and I think it's really good because sometimes I think that's what Hollywood needs is sometimes is a fresh take, and they don't usually take that into account half the time, and but at least it's not. And then there's the other side of it too, and this is one of the hugest problems with Star Wars is the other side of the fan base, the toxic fan base, the people that it's like, oh, this is not my envision of Star Wars. I'm like, well, of course it's not your envision. It's their envision, and it's subjective, and it's your choice whether you want to like it or not. Everyone has their own version of what Star Wars should be, and I wouldn't be surprised if you did encounter some people too in Halloween what they think Halloween should be, and it's one of those things too where it's just like you're not going to appease everyone. You're not going to please everyone.
Right.
But if you have a successful movie and the general masses like it, I say that's a success. Fuck the toxic people, dude.
Yeah.
And it's good though. It's good that you have something like this. And I do too. Like I've written a thing that's a continuation of Pulp Fiction, but from two new characters' perspectives, and it's just two people in a diner, and they have the briefcase now from Marcellus Wallace. They have the briefcase now. It's no longer in the hands of Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta and stuff like that. But like their conversation is like talking about what happened to them after their thing. Them talking about Jules going on a sabbatical. Them talking about like, oh man, it's shitty what you happened to. We hear what happened to Vince, and they're talking about like, yeah, it's like, and Marcellus is like, he's different now, isn't he? He's not the same ever since after going after Butch or something like that. Like kind of they're trying to figure out like what's up with Marcellus, their boss, like how much of a different person that he is, and no one knows why he's different. We know why he's different, but we're looking at the perspective of these characters that don't know why he's different. And
right.
At the same time, I'm trying to introduce new characters of like, what is so damn important about the briefcase where they're eating, and now a third person has entered the arena of trying to get that briefcase, but I still want to keep a mystery enough where it's like, we don't know what's in the case. And I don't want to reveal that. Yep. I love the fact that we don't know what's in the briefcase, you know? And it's like, I want to continue that, you know? And some people may not agree with me on that, but that's fine. And some people might like that idea, you know? And I just want to try to have it like dialogue heavy in a sense, like we're trying to figure out, you know, who these characters are, what's going on in the universe, like kind of expand on it, you know? And it's not too bad because it's challenged me to be creative, and that's really good. And I think sometimes Hollywood needs to do that when coming up with original ideas. Is challenge their creativity. Don't come up with your first ideas. Write them down, put them on the board. You know, you may not use it immediately, but you may be able to come back to it later if you need to, you know? With franchises and actual intellectual properties, it's tough because, you know, everyone thinks they know what's good for it. And not only that, you may not actually have, what is it? The source material. Some people just don't respect the source material, and there's some people that do, you know, and I think the people that respect the source material, I think they know what they're doing, and I think because they come from the fandom as well, you know, versus someone that's like money grabbing and not from it. That's my 2 cents.
Damn, I felt like I was in a fucking college course of filmmaking 101. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, and I love that you mentioned dialogue heavy. That is one of the reasons like Pulp Fiction always stood out for me, and one of the reasons why Quentin Tarantino does a lot of shit in his movies I don't like. But that dude, I idolize that dude as far as how he writes dialogue, whether it's a monologue or whether it's just bullshit conversation with 2 characters that just keeps you like, you're just like, yo, they're not talking about shit, or maybe they are, but this is like one of the most interesting back and forths I've ever heard in my life. Like, yeah, that dialogue heavy is important.
Yeah, and I think what makes Quentin Tarantino proficient at it is the fact that I think, let me see, what's the best comparison? Okay, so best comparison is that technically Quentin Tarantino is a director, he's a producer, and he's also a writer for majority of his films that he does. All right, and he's watched a lot of cinema, he's been in cinema, and he knows what he wants, but I think he does it in a way where he can see it, how it's going to happen on the editing room floor. And that's why he's very particular of who he hires as an editor. Unlike Stallone, who's also a writer, director, producer, and I don't think any of his expendable movies are even good at all. And I think he's just trying to write and direct something that he can kind of like piece together, you know, and just leave it for the editor to try to put it together, like, of what he's trying to do. And I think I don't think he's a very good writer at all, because the first Expendable has like roughly about 50 scripts. I know 57 scripts with 56 all of them being rewrites. So you have to have a good balance, and I think Quentin Tarantino has a pretty good balance, because I think with him, I think he knows the process. Stallone knows the process too, to a certain extent, but I think when you get too in your head about what you want to try to convey, that's where the machine starts to break down. And I think that's what happens with Stallone in his Expendable movies, because he's just constantly trying to, he's either second guessing himself with all the rewrites, unlike Quentin Tarantino's like, no, this is how it's going to be, and this is how I'm going to write it, and this is how we're going to film it. You know, being confident versus not being confident.
Gonna say, I challenge you that he's not a good writer when he's written movies like Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Copland, Rambo.
Great. You just started naming them like... that list was quick.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I challenge that, because like to say he's not a good, like earlier in his career, he's actually a really great writer. But later, yeah, I could see that. But to say that he wasn't a good writer, I disagree with that. Because how can you sit there and tell me Rambo and Rocky are not beautifully written?
I gotta go back and watch all of those movies, honestly.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Did he write Rambo Last Blood? I think I recently watched that one. I don't think he wrote that. I don't even think he directed that one. I think he directed part 4. I don't know if he did Last Blood.
Writer and story. We got a story credit and a writer credit. So yeah, he did.
Yeah, Rambo Last Blood. I think I actually watched that a couple days ago, and that shit is like if you got a straight up action horror movie version of Home Alone, like 3 or some shit. Like that is fucking Kevin McAllister all grown up and sick of everybody's shit. Rambo Last Blood was just completely like don't make any more Rambo movies. They need to leave him alone.
Yeah.
They need to leave John alone.
So this is gonna be my last one because I gotta dip out soon because I'm filming in 30 minutes. So it's gonna be my last one. I'm gonna make it a good one.
Oh my god.
Matilda, the Professional Part 2.
What?
The Professional Part 2. Matilda. No one? No one?
Oh, okay.
That is, you got to be careful with that. It could work. It could definitely work.
Natalie Portman is of age. She is the same age as Jean Reno when they did the first one. She's of age now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's in her 40s right now. Yeah. And Jean Reno was in his, I think he was like in his late 40s when he did the Professional.
She's
of age. She's of age.
You know
she
why?
Could be a beautiful, fucking, vicious hit woman.
Yeah.
You know why that could work? That could work this day and age because you've got shit like Atomic Blonde, Lucy, like all these
John Wick. Nobody. When you have those kind of action films now dominating the theaters, people will go and see that movie. People will go and see that movie.
Yeah.
But would you make her like a straight up like hit woman? Was she motivated?
Yeah,
is she going to be protecting another child?
I make it very simple. I just make it a simple story of her just going and doing the job and then fucking up a job. And then her employer just like says, you know what? You're no good to me. Now you're dead. And then she goes on and on a killing spree. Like, that's it. That's all I do. Just simplify it. Make it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Like, you make it simple and you make it stick, then boom. You know what I mean? Don't go through this whole retread of, like, her trying to, like, mentorship, like, this young kid and, like, make them a... No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Make it about her and her business.
Yeah.
About her job.
Yeah, as long as you don't bring in the original creator and his pedophilia way idea.
Oh, Luc Besson?
I think it would work. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about him. It was unfortunate, man. Yeah. It's like, fuck, like, y'all just can't. It's the same director as...
Did I miss something?
Yeah. Luc
Yeah,
Besson, man. Look it up. Look it up, brother.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate news, man. I remember reading that shit, and I was like, what?
That makes so much sense, too, for, like, The Professional. Like, all those segments with Natalie Portman and, like, the way she's doing that, like, that's him, like, kind of projecting into the film. And it sucks. It's such a good movie, but now it leaves such a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's even worse now that I'm a fucking parent, and I'm just
man. Yeah, yep.
Shit, man.
Especially having a daughter, it's like you watch it differently now. You watch it differently now, and you kind of see.
It's not the same fucking movie anymore, dude, and it fucking
man, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up. He was also. There's a story about him and Mila Jovovich apparently too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, don't quote me on it, but I did read an article where they were saying he was like he was messing with Mila Jovovich. I don't know how young she was, but he was like super older than her, and he was messing with Mila Jovovich, and he had an affair with her, and they ended up like I don't think they got married. I don't think, but he definitely had some type of some type of something going on with Mila Jovovich.
So
Yeah.
This version right here, the uncut international version, which I have yet to see. But reading on this actually explores more of Matilda's backstory and her training, and some of the more explicit relationship things that are going on between them. Mm-hmm. There's actually a much more disturbing scene that I was reading now. Now that was brought up to my attention. That's worse than the Marilyn Monroe shit.
Oh, Lord. Christ.
So, but,
almighty.
Holy shit, man.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Now I don't even know if I want to see that movie. Thanks.
Sorry, dude. Like, you kind of, it's like one of those things where, like, you have to take the good with the bad. Like, you kind of have to. I mean, like.
Yeah, no shit. It's just like, but I just think that is a movie that is so primed for a fucking sequel, man. Like, it really is.
No, it really is. It really is, dude. And I wouldn't mind seeing a Matilda, like, 2, you know, her being already, like, an established hit woman in this underground, and, like, kind of like how you described it, you know? Plain and simple. I'm totally down with plain and simple. A linear story that has a beginning, middle, and end. You don't really have to complicate it, you know? Like, that's grounds for a good one, and you could technically build a franchise upon it, you know? It just sucks that, like, now that idea is just somewhat tainted, because now you're gonna have, like, some weirdo.
Holy shit!
Yeah, you're gonna have some weirdo try to bring in that pedophilia bullshit of, like, you know, like her relationship with Leon and shit like that. You know, and I'm just like, and I mean, you can find a way to cut it out. Like, you can cut all that shit out and just only have training montages if you needed to, or whatever, or not bring it up at all. I think it would still work too if you didn't bring any of her past relationship with Leon at all. But at the same time, would be somewhat of a disservice of the fans of the first film. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fine line that you got to walk with that.
It really is, and it's just something that you really need to, you know, handle with care. Like, you really, really have to handle it with care.
Yep.
You know, so yeah. Sorry to shit on your parade, Johnny, on that one.
Yeah, I'm actually reading the Variety report from 2 years ago. It is pretty fucking gnarly.
Yeah, dude. I don't think I can watch. I wanted to watch The Professional, and then I remember that happened, and I'm just like, shit. Like, and Gary Oldman puts on a fucking stellar performance in that movie too.
Yeah, because of a scary performance.
Natalie Portman entertained the idea of doing a sequel. This was like years ago, though, and I don't remember who was interviewing her, but she kind of like hinted at the fact that she's always wondered what happened to this character and what this character is doing now and things like that.
I often theorize, and it kind of tracks though, that like she became the American version of Nikita. La Femme
Nikita, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I often theorize like that was her origin story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like The Professional was La Femme Nikita's origin story, and then she became La Femme Nikita. And then in America we have The Point of No Return, which like basically is Bridget Fonda, which basically could be Matilda's future, where she's like, you know, taken over by Gabriel Byrne and shit. Like yeah, go kill those people over there by the.
Yeah, I think if Natalie Portman actually like handled the property, I think it would work even more. Honestly, that's just my thought.
Yeah, no, if she, but I think he still owns it, so that's what sucks. No, actually, no, he doesn't own it. He doesn't own it. I think.
Who owns it?
I think MGM owns it.
Oh, MGM.
Yeah, I think they own it still. Unless they left. Because I remember he did not have... I was reading an article. Oh, yeah, so that's... Dark Daddy says Columbiana was the sequel. Kind of was.
I almost called it Zoe Saldana movie, right?
Yeah, Zoe Saldana, yeah.
Shit, that wasn't that Luc Besson too? Wasn't that his movie?
Yeah, that was him.
Did he like produce it or did he direct it? The funny thing is that's the only movie I liked. I really enjoyed Zoe Saldana. I'm not really a big fan of hers, but Colombiana, she did all right. She's pretty badass in that.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything. I haven't seen it.
It was like this, and I saw it prior to knowing about the Luc Besson shit. It's okay. One of the things that I didn't like about it was the fact that Cliff Curtis, they don't really give him a lot to do in a lot of movies that he's like. I feel like Cliff Curtis is such a decent actor. He's like one of those chameleon actors where people go back and watch Training Day. They don't even realize that Cliff Curtis is Smiley. Like he can do a corporate role, like in Live Free or Die Hard. He can be.
He's New Zealand Queen of Cholo.
That's okay. He's from New Zealand. Yeah. But like he was in Virus with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think he's actually playing his actual nationality in that movie. He plays a character Hiko, and then he's in Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay.
Which one?
Okay.
Once We Were Warriors.
Once We Were Warriors. I did not see that. Who is he? He's in that.
He's in that. He's in there with Boba Fett.
What?
Yeah. That's be warned. Just be warned. Have you seen Raging Bull?
Yeah, I've seen Raging Bull.
A while ago. Long time ago.
It's that kind of a watch. So just beware. It is a hard watch. All right, guys. I got to dip out, man.
All right, brother.
It looks like they just showed up. I got to dip out. This was really fun. Got to do this again. Romero, we were thinking, what, the 22nd?
Yep. Let's shoot for that. Oh, good.
All right. Aaron, 22nd, if you want to hop on, more than welcome to. Always, you got to open, open door invite. So,
all right, for sure.
I will talk to you guys later.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Lights.